What is going on, Duckers? And thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Decoy live stream podcast. The very bizarre weather we're having all across, it's not so Los Angeles, Southern California right now. It's crazy that we're essentially seeing not tornado warnings in Los Angeles, but there's tornado conditions. I don't know what's really going on over there. So yeah, what's up everybody? What's up all my stolen land enjoyers? It's kind of sad how it is. What's up maybe Sunshine? Glad to see you here. Also Uganda Hater, we got a lot of the mods over on Decap Decoy. Oh, what's up Lena G? Is Lena G a mod? I forget. I just know you've been around for a long time. Good to see Troglodyte over on Twitch and oh yeah, No Name Guy. No, I remember you guys. So with a lot of the regular people, somebody said, let's try not to get nuked this time. And if you were watching the last live stream, you know we just got randomly cut off. But it's good we're on all these different platforms. And if you are watching or you're subscribed to me over on Twitter, you saw a bit of my complaints on what's going on with this. I don't really know how much detail I can talk about with what happened afterwards and like my understanding of what's going on to the Decap Decoy YouTube where we're live streaming, but to say the least, I'm not too satisfied with how things were handled and how things will be handled. So I'm a bit on the fence, and I guess you guys can give me feedback on it because I don't want to become this, but a bit on the idea of whether I will open up essentially like a Patreon, a Substack, a subscribe store. Possibly what I'm learning about is like a ghost. No. We weren't being naughty in chat. Like obviously I only show certain chats that are more heavily able to be auto-moderated, so bad actors can't come in the chat, say some nefarious things, and then get this channel struck. No, it was just, I don't even know how much I can say, but downstream of AI moderation and then just finding other whatever stuff. But I'll say is I don't want to become internet panhandler. Like I say, like I appreciate the super chats and the subscriptions, but I don't like, it's not necessary. Do it if you'd like to, but I'm not up here asking for it. But honestly, I'm just wondering if I should make like a ghost account, which is like your own Patreon, so I don't gotta rely on Patreon. You get a bigger cut, possibly a Substack because it already has the infrastructure. But I mean, would I just start saying monetization's kind of weird sometimes, so I'm just gonna have my own thing while I ask you to subscribe, and then I will provide some sort of service on that. Obviously, it's kind of bad. Like I don't want to be like that, but you know, to try to counteract the weird stuff that's going on. As you know, AI is taking over everything. It's still not really where it needs to be in terms of accuracy, so that's what I'm kind of concerned about. You heard about the protesters that broke into a factory and hit an officer with a hammer were released? I don't know about that particular scenario, but I know that it wouldn't surprise me. Like, what was the ones that were using? It was the two lawyers, I think they were attorneys, in New York City, used Molotovs to attack, what wasn't it, NYPD coppers? Not exactly certain, but it was an attack that occurred, and then they later on got sweetheart deals. I don't even think they went to jail for it. So yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, you're not crap unless you're on the list. And the sad part is, I'm not even doing the most. Like, I'm even dodging topics that I know that will get you deranked and just kind of talking about it on the back end. Like, why would they be coming after me, you know? Well, whatever. Sadly. Yeah, I feel like since I thought it was going to be overcast, I was going to leave this window open, but I probably should close it because it's making the light all wonky. And as I complain about AI, it's just porn. As I complain about AI moderation enjoy this AI jam, this AI jazz track that I had made. Like, I mean, Suno is phenomenal. AI is good in some things and bad in other things, you know? And that looks better. I feel like we have the blinds are up. Possibly I need to have those backlights on, actually. We're just adjusting everything today. We're doing it live, though. We're doing it live. I feel like I always try to figure out what Asmongold does to make his streams good and smooth. And one time I watched him start his live stream where he's legit like setting up the chat, setting up the what do you call it, his topics of the day. So honestly, I guess especially in the beginning, because we're on Twitch, we only have like 16 people, Kick has 10, YouTube only has 300, and I imagine I'm gonna start from scratch since that other live stream got struck down, so I have like zero discoverability again. Yeah, Zach doesn't give a fuck, but honestly, it's like people are there for vibes. I honestly feel super pressured to always be entertaining top to bottom as soon as we start it. But honestly, I realize now it's just we're hanging out. I'm not here to like entertain you guys on a live stream every moment of the stream. It's like 3 hours. It should just be kind of a vibe. Yeah, I understand over on Twitch you guys are watching ads. I feel like once we can kind of grow it to a certain level, then there's a certain level of profitability the stream is on, and then I can kind of turn it down. But obviously Amazon has all the server costs, so a channel like mine starting off, they want you to kind of be there. Yeah, people saying Most Critical is a political slop tuber now. Moist Critical, still like him. Charlie's got good takes. He's a genius at video titling and thumbnails, so I won't take that away from him. But I think he's gonna go the way of Philip DeFranco, at least in my mind, where he's gonna go down a path, have some takes that are very detached from everyday people, and then that'll cause a divide in his audience. He's still gonna be like #1 YouTuber, streamer guy. I don't know, does he even stream? I forget. But he'll still be the #1 YouTuber for like internet culture. But he's not gonna speak to a certain population of people like myself the same way anymore. So ads wouldn't be a problem if they didn't pop up at the worst time. I'm still kind of figuring that out. I feel like when Aosabi comes in chat, we can kind of talk to him as far as how to set it up correctly. All I did is I just set it up to be the minimum for what they want me to do, for me to follow the rules. Because I don't think it's a secret. Me getting a somewhat of a Twitch deal to come on the platform is you know, I want to follow the rules. Just like YouTube. People want me to go hard on certain issues or say certain things, but honestly, I want to be, not essentially like a good little boy, but I want to be within the terms of service. They're providing me a platform and a way to reach out to you guys. Let me do it so I can protect their platform from getting demonetized from advertisers pulling from their back. So it's like, it's a mutually beneficial situation for all of us. But, you know, I'm always going to not necessarily push the envelope, but I'm going to still get out the message I want to get out. Yeah, yo, buy this video game, but also listen to my political feelings. And that's the thing is, I truly think the new generation of like cool celebrities is gonna be back to the mystique, scaling back your social media presence, scaling back your political takes, scaling back how much your audience knows about you as a person, and just kind of being like a star of the yesteryears. Like in the 90s before social media, you like Tom Cruise, but you didn't know what religion he was. You like Keanu Reeves right now, but you don't know, I don't know what much of what he does in his free time. And honestly, it should be like that. I need a Coca-Cola endorsement. I need some sort of decaf endorsement, because here it is, like, just like Starbucks all you want. I'll still get a coffee, an iced Americano from Starbucks or my local coffee shop all the time. So it's like, we're doing decaf decoy. I'm gonna spaz out if I have any more of this drink, but food endorsement, Coca-Cola endorsement, something like that. Food related. Like I'm saying no to almost all advertisement dollars. Like, oh, today's video is sponsored by blank. But if the right one comes around for the right price of something that I want to endorse, then yeah. Say Dutch Bros is better. My nieces live near Dutch Bros, and we picked it up one time. Maybe because I just get a plain black iced Americano, but I don't get why Dutch Bros is like the top. Get a Sanka endorsement? I mean, Asmongold already has dibs for Dr. Pepper. I don't know. So, what is with Dr. Pepper? Can both Coca-Cola and PepsiCo make Dr. Pepper? And who the hell makes Pibb Extra? And why is it garbage? Because I like Dr. Pepper. I like Diet Dr. Pepper. I just am trying to switch to a caffeine-free variation of my soda because I am a filthy addict when it comes to carbonated beverages and trying to scale back on caffeine too. Pibb is Coke? Okay. Or go the sugary sludge. At least this thing doesn't have. It's Diet Coke, no caffeine. Really doesn't have. Probably has something bad for my stomach. Maybe it's that acetaminophen or whatever that word is, the thing that destroys your gut biome. That's probably what I have. Bro, Dr. Pepper's a Texas thing. That makes sense because Asmongold is over in Texas, and I was just watching Landman, which is like a spin-off of not a spin-off, but one of the shows under the umbrella of the guy that made Yellowstone and I don't know, like was he like Sons of Anarchy too? I don't know. But yeah, aspartame. What is acetaminophen then? Why is that in my head? I don't know. Get a tab sponsorship. That would probably be my CBG. My ultimate CBG is a good. Maybe we're developing it live on stream right now. But like a good diet beverage, caffeine free, that tastes like Dr. Pepper, produced in America, 80 grams of protein. Like we're fantasizing now. That will be the decoy beverage, and then later on they'll find out that it was giving you like turbo disease or something. Oh, Tylenol is acetaminophen. There it is. Yeah, I'm thinking of that because I'm really into trains. I'm into models. I'm into like toys. Like yeah, I probably had a bit too much acetaminophen when I was acetaminophen when I was younger. Diet root beer. I'm not a fan of root beer aftertaste. Not. Yeah, not model trains. I have the model. You can't see it right there. That's Gundam SD Death Sith. Hell, I got that. Got some other models over here. I got actually you can't tell, but that thing right there. That's all little Gundam models. Yeah. Yes, burger time. That's pretty much what it is. Baja Blast. No, I remember my buddy used to work at Taco Bell. And he would make what was called the cement beverage, and it was like Baja Blast with a little bit of Pepsi, a little bit of everything. It just looked like cement mix, but it was delicious. Probably too much sugar, but you know, whatever it is. MG gunplay is better than SD. All I know is talk about it too much. I have a cool heavy arms, endless waltz, model. Tried to make it, was too complicated for me, so yeah, we're done. Look at Dublin, Texas soda. They bottle the original Dr. Pepper and still make original cane sugar recipe. I will check that out. All I do know is with RFK changing what has to be in ingredients, we're getting rid of like red dye and like hot Cheetos, but also getting rid of high fructose corn syrup and replacing it with sugar cane. So all Coca-Cola products will be like the glass bottle Mexican Coke, which will be awesome. Looks maxing is nothing but vanity and envy. I mean, let's be honest though. If you're I even hate saying it, like a social media influencer, like I think that's technically what I'm classified as. We call us like YouTubers or live streamers or whatever it may be, but you're still under the umbrella of influencer. That's just IG models, only girl models, and then even YouTubers or influencers, and being put together is part of it. Like I mean, obviously, I don't think they're faking it, but Moist Critical, Asmongold, kind of having that bummy video gamer look, like just white t-shirt, black t-shirt, just kind of hanging out. That's because they speak to their audience. Like that's what their audience looks like. That's what you want to kind of portray that thing. So there's a bit of genuineness behind it. Hassan does a bit of the of carefully curating his image to speak to his audience, and as do me too. I mean, as do me. What the fuck? What language is that? As does me. As does I. Me image too. That's what we're gonna say. But yeah, I obviously did my hair too. Like I have this weird thing that was in the back, and I was just blasting it with like hair paste earlier today. Like we're doing it on purpose. I'm not to the point of what is it, bone smashing? The guy's like, yeah, I'm gonna get a better jawline with a hammer on the face. It's like, no, like I am what I am. Have kind of weird facial measurements, and my jawline isn't great, but it is what it is. Asmongold is that audience. Bro is stereotypical WoW goblin and made it by embracing it. Early adopters are always going to be the one that'll rake in all the rewards. He is the de facto OG guy that did it. He wasn't copying anybody, he was just doing it, and now we have a lot of people copying him. A few millimeters of bone, bro? There's no way. Maybe I'm wrong, but there's no way that's actually working. You're using like something to like make your jawline better. I remember I had a buddy that was like kind of a chubby guy, but because he was a bit taller and his face held the weight well. Like he could have a beer belly, but his face would always look chiseled. Like he would have a nice jawline. Girls really liked him, but he would just straight up tell me, he's like, nah, bro, all you gotta do is have more jawbreakers. Like eat a whole bunch of jawbreakers and you can have a chiseled jawline too. And I'm like, no, man, that's like genetics. You're genetically, you hold your weight differently. I'm Korean. We hold our weight in our faces a lot. Like I don't even know where I could find the image to show you guys, but me with an extra 10 pounds on me, it's like all my face. It's weird. Oh, what's up? Somebody Donut Operator rated us with 539 viewers. That's insane. Thanks, Donut. Always appreciate that. Yeah. What's up? Yeah, what's up, Ayosabi-chan or San? Thanks for the raid. That's awesome. Don't sweat it, Short Round? That's the guy. Is Short Round the Asian kid from Indiana Jones? Yeah. Have I seen Kim Jong-un? Yeah, I mean, yes, I've seen Kim Jong-un. He holds his weight in his face. I think that was a big deal when that song Gundam Style came out. Gangnam Style. It was Psy, the rapper. And we all know of like Koreans, like in America, everybody knows as Koreans as like K-pop stars. Chiseled jawline, very, this isn't a negative thing, but just very like feminine features. They wear makeup. Korean dramas, they're very pretty and like just very, their faces look different. Psy came out there, became the most famous Korean person ever, essentially, and he looked more like your prototypical Korean. We just like that. Yes, I am the dark-skinned decoy. We'll get light-skinned decoy out here again. It's just, I think, after he came to visit, because he still lives in LA, his trip home was in the hours, so it was sad. Yeah, Lear, laugh, and love. That's what we're doing on this chat. That's what this video is. We're here to leer, we're here to love, we're here to laugh. Wait, where did he raid me on? Are you raid me on Twitch? I'm not seeing the viewership at all. Not that it matters, but I'm just wondering. Yeah, it's still cool though. We're doing it on Twitch. Okay, awesome. I still have not much, but yeah, we're hanging out. It's YouTube that I'm trying to build back up because we should be able to get to like 2,000 live stream viewers on YouTube. But after that little fiasco with the getting sent away, that's just what it is. Okay, cool. You on Twitch? That's awesome. Over on Kick as well. Awesome. That's cool. It's cool. Do the buy me a coffee thing. I'm thinking what we're gonna do is maybe it's called Ghost. It's like building your own platform to have your own Substack, your own Ko-Fi, your own Patreon. So you own it. You just pay a rate on the back end, and then you can kind of control. Like when you help Timcast with his paid membership, you don't go to his Substack, you don't go to his Patreon, you go to timcastirl.com or whatever. I forget what it is. Building on my own, so nobody can be controlling me. I hate to panhandle like that, but also it is a little bit scary that the AI essentially can like nuke you from orbit, label you something that it definitely is not, and then somebody on the back end will say, you know what, we didn't find, I mean, maybe I'm saying too much, we didn't find what the AI flagged you for, but we'll find something to demonetize you for. And it's like, that seems ridiculous, because obviously I have decaf decoy. This is where are we at a decaf decoy? Oh shit. Decap. So Decoy is at. Oh, let me fix this. Decoy is at 1.06 million subscribers. Decap's at a generous. What is this? 83,000. So that's pretty cool for me. Brand new channel. Well, not brand new channel, but just channel that's just still trying to make it up. I know what the moderation looks like. I got lots of buddies with big channels that see what happens when they say this is demonetized and here's your options. Decap Decoy just gets it gets slapped around. So it's like, okay, guys, I get what it is. Yeah. Locals gives you access to any followers, emails, etc. Which I think Locals is good, Substack is good, but it's always going to be controlled by somebody. Yeah. Well, what's up? Glad to see you guys here getting live. And that's the thing, is you've seen normal YouTube channels be threatened with demonetization due to AI mistakes. I see a lot of the complaints on Twitter. They'll talk about it and like, yeah, this is insane what they took them down for, and it takes essentially public outrage to get it back. I'm not sitting here trying to cause YouTube grief and go back and forth with them, but obviously I'm also trying to, not necessarily hedge my bet, but keep myself protected from the mistakes it might make. If you're on your own, you get to negotiate with advertisers directly. Seems worth, but I'm also not trying to get advertisers at all. I think about like the MXR Plays model, where he got nuked from orbit, isn't even on the platform, but from what I see on his Patreon, I think he survived it well. I think his income minimum still has to be in the million annually, so very well protected because he has a loyal fan base that wants to keep him protected. You watched me on Asmongold for a long time. Glad to see you. I'm kicking butt and growing. You deserve your success. Really appreciate that. Stylistically, I'm overthinking it though, but that's my deal. I'm an overthinker. I feel like too critical, too what's the word? Neurotic. Some of my success can be attributed to being neurotic and like this, but obviously it has its drawbacks. Yeah, viewer supported is best. Manscaped isn't going to give me a deal if I only have 200 viewers. My problem is I've done Manscaped ads. Probably when I was at 200,000 minimum views per video on YouTube, but now Decoy has probably 500,000 minimum views per video. So it's like, I would do the video ads, but I have to be paid like a competitive rate, not be locked in the rate they had me when I would get 100,000 views. It's very weird negotiation. And my thing with you guys, especially the people that are watching right now, you guys are like the few fans, good fans, is the core fan base, is I'm not going to tell you, like, obviously I've told you guys to buy Manscaped before. I've done an ad. And I'm just using this as an example. I'm not talking about Manscaped right now. I'm not saying buy this bat thing when negotiations on the back end are weird with me and the company. So it's like, yeah, I really like this company. I like the bat. But I'm not going to try to tell you guys something that I'm also not the biggest fan of. Blackout Coffee, honestly, I probably would say what you will about Jeremy from the Quartering. If I ever did a coffee advertisement, it'd probably be his or it'd be Tim Pool's. Obviously, I don't have a deal with either one of them, but Tim's been good to me. Tim's team's been good to me, and Jeremy's been good to me too. Like, people may not like them stylistically as far as their channel and what they're doing right now, but as people and people in the content creator space, I would say there's nobody better than Jeremy's been good, Tim's been good, Liberal Hive Mind's been amazing, like, if you know him. Matt Morse is cool. Even Matt Morse, shout out to him. He's the reason that we're doing it this way, like with my face over here and the chat up there, because I noticed that, Matt Morse has a better way of displaying chat and videos and stuff like that, so he's really cool. I don't want to leave anybody out now. Everybody I've interacted with, I've really had no negative interactions with people, so Asmongold and his team been really cool, so yeah, everybody's super awesome. You gotta take in what makes all the commentary people successful. Grow a gnarly red beard, wear a white t-shirt, wear a beanie, zap a dog every once in a while. I mean, I get jealous. Oh no, sorry, Donut Operator, super awesome guy. I'm jealous that Donut can have his cat just hanging out all live stream. My cat will come in here and I'll feed him some treats, and then he's gone. Like he's like, okay, where's my morning treat? I know I get an afternoon treat. I know I get dinner at night. He sees me for that, and then he's off doing his own thing. Donut operator can just have his cat Beans hanging out with him all episode. No electricity involved. He doesn't have to zap that cat. That cat just loves him genuinely. And then I think about me rescuing my stray kitten from a tree, feeding him, paying for expensive surgeries for him, taking him to the vet, taking care of him. If I go out of town, we hire a babysitter for him. All these things. And that guy can't even make a guest spot on my show right now. The key to Donut's success is always ordering food for eating at all times while streaming. I do want to start doing that. Where I live, I'm not doxing myself, but it's kind of a complicated thing to get DoorDash sent to me, but I would like to do that. Cat's a freeloader? Oh, what is it? I like how Candace Owens, she talked about her cat, and she was all like, the reason I like cats is cats are kind of like, she didn't say pompous, but she's like, cats just think Earth is ghetto. Like, they think it's kind of dirty here. They think everything's below them. And I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. Like, my cat just kind of thinks I'm a little ghetto. Like, he's a little bit above it. He's like, I used to be in Egypt. My ancestors used to have, you know, servants, and they'd build me, like, entire monuments. And you're over here, like, in your tiny apartment, walking around barefoot. Like, a little too ghetto for me. Not necessarily I want to eat on stream, but I want to figure out a way to kind of make the streams more chill. This is supposed to be Decaf Decoy, the slower, more chill version of Decoy Voice, or just Decoy on YouTube now. And somehow, I don't know how, it became the more spastic, insane, erratic version of Decoy Voice. Your cat has OCD, he's always grooming himself, yeah. I mean, that's good, it means they're healthy. Yeah, you say useless pet, he is indeed a useless pet. And yeah, maybe Sunshine saying cats have their own personalities. 100%. My family's had cats before, and those are like natural hunter cats, or like affectionate cats that want to sit in your lap, or like cats that are kind of aloof. Like this cat is just so different from any other creature I've had, so I like it though. Yeah, triple shot decoy. This would be the triple shot decoy essentially. Decaf coffee would just make you angry. I mean, I'm in such an addict, an alcoholic that drinks O'Doul's. I will just have a decaf Americano in the afternoon because I want the taste of it, even though coffee doesn't taste that great. It's just something that we just have used it. The old cat used to play fetch. I feel like when Cheddar was a kitten, he would play fetch. Not fetch, he'd play like catch. I'd like flick a little ball at him, and he'd flick the ball back, and we could just sit there and play for a little bit, and he's lost that. He's just an old grumpy man now. Dogs will come when you call, a cat will take a message and get back with you. I don't even think the cat will take a message. He's like, leave a message, and then it just, his inbox is full. He doesn't check that shit. Cats won't come around unless you treat them good, not like dumb dogs who will come no matter what, and that's true. Dogs just love you no matter what. Cats take some coaxing. Yeah, I get left on red with my cat. Thanks, I like the background music. This is like one of 2 video game RPG AI songs. Everything else is gonna be AI. Teach a cat to use a toilet? I've heard that's not good for the, not necessarily the environment, but the what's the thing, the water treatment plant, whatever, like it's not made to handle the stuff that, like, diseases and what might be in the cat stuff. Like, it's better to put it in the litter and throw it in the trash. The septic system, yep. Yeah, Suno's been amazing. I love Suno. Decoy's living with Garfield. What's that guy Super Eye Patch Wolf talked about in his Garfield video? There's like a Garfield without Garfield comic. So it's John Arbuckle, is that his name? The guy that lives with Garfield. He's talking to the cat, and the cat never talks back. He just has a thought bubble, and that's what the fun is. But if you take just all the thought bubbles off of Garfield, it's just this insane, like, depressing comic of an old single dude in his 30s or maybe 40s talking to his cat, and the cat's just looking at him like he's insane. Like, it's what's a word I'm looking for? where you have it's like it's what is it I can't think of the word right now. It's you think about like, you know, the end, your demise, oblivion. Not delusional, not schizo, not dementia. It's a something nightmare. It's a blank nightmare. How many syllables? We're playing like that word game. It's a lot of syllables. It's a where you just don't even know you don't even know like the end. I forget. Existential. Yes, it's an existential nightmare. Thank you. Thank you, chat. You're reading my mind right now. It's an existential nightmare to have a Garfield comment where he's just talking to his cat and he's just thinking like, yeah, it's sad. It's sad. Why do I want lasagna? Lasagna does sound good right now. Words, dude. That's the thing, is I'll never make fun of... No. I will make fun of, but I'll have compassion for your Joe Bidens, your AOCs, your Kamala Harrises, people that start talking and wish they didn't start talking because they can't formulate the idea. I get it. Maybe I need more sleep. Maybe I need more nootropics or something. I don't know. But I need to have... I'm like Charlie Kelly in Sunny in Philadelphia. Sometimes words don't make sense, you know? Of compassion, yeah. Facts for lasagna? I don't know about that. Talking without formulating the idea is like bananas and rice. No, I am Michael Scott. Sometimes I start speaking and I don't even know the point, and hopefully I get to the point, but most of the time I won't. Not enough sleep causes that, and I have terrible sleep patterns. Like I mean, this doesn't dox me at all. Let's look at my sleep scores and how bad they are, because I have, obviously you can see the Oura Ring, and it's not. Where is it? Let me get my sleep score. This is all my stuff, all health data. Where is it? Heart rate, sleep. There it is. Yeah, this will just any day. Any day is just me waking up at all hour. It's not sleep apnea. I got that test. I just don't stay asleep at all. Sleep say take magnesium and ashwagandha. Ashwagandha gives me a very, very bad stomach issues. It like hurts. And then I've tried the magnesium spray, but I didn't like it yet. Sleep is boring. Honestly, yeah. I need to figure out how to get better sleep. Maybe I'll be sharper. I feel like sometimes I feel very dialed in after a good night's rest, but that's rare. Chamomile tea? Tried that. I even tried that beverage that Tim Pool had advertised. Oh yeah, I've gotten my best sleep with this, and it's like, shit didn't work for me, man. Fragmented sleep is a beast that cannot be fed. Very true. Try whiskey for sleep. I love whiskey too much, and I don't think I've had a drop for over a month. So I'm just trying to figure stuff out. He was saying smoking helps you sleep, but honestly, I've heard horrendous things from friends that I know that smoke a lot, and then realizing they no longer get REM sleep, and then coming off of it and actually getting sleep for the first time, and the vivid night terrors that they get. It's nuts. I do have melatonin, helps me. I'm trying to get what is it, for sleep. What was the other thing I was trying to have? Like a weighted blanket, possibly? Yeah. Yeah, Deprived Dolphin for the super chat. I'll cover super chats at the end, but said, once you switch to keto, your sleep is incredible. I was on keto for a while, got shredded super fast. It was awesome, but keto is just one expensive diet to be on. You got auto-modded? You got auto-modded on Kick? Like, I didn't even think I had a mod on Kick. So yeah, it had to be bad if you got auto-modded on Kick. Don't eat or drink 2 hours before sleep. Okay, I didn't know that. I've heard something about dipping your feet or your lower half in a hot tub before you sleep, and it helps you. Maybe I forgot about that, but maybe I'll try again. Okay, on Kick, anything in regards to race, which is good. L-glycine help you a lot, yeah. Go move a pile of dirt by hand and then it'll help you sleep. Honestly, working out I think does really help me sleep, so I probably just need to get some good like interval training or something. Hot shower makes you sleepy. I feel like when I shower at night, it resets me to like be ready for the day again. But I like hot shower at night and I cold shower in the morning. Don't drink coffee in the PM. I've been avoiding caffeine in the evening. I'll have caffeine-free Diet Coke. I used to have an iced Americano in the morning and an iced Americano in the afternoon. And I could I'd be at work, I'd come home, and I'd just knock out for a nap right away. Like, the caffeine did not keep me awake, but I've since switched to either no afternoon Americano or actually just having a decaf Americano. Labor in general, chop wood for an hour before bed helps you sleep like a baby. I've heard about that. Like, chopping wood actually helps you, helps like testosterone production, like the impact or something. Like, I like working a heavy bag. I just don't have a heavy bag here. Maybe when I move, I will make it so I have a garage and I can put a heavy bag in that, because I do enjoy that. Swimming? Yeah, it's a little bit too cold to swim now, but I think that's good. What's up with LA people and Americanos? I don't know. I thought Americanos were like a Korean thing, but yeah. I think having an Americano makes you feel like, I had to say, masculine. Like going to a Starbucks or going to like any coffee shop and ordering like a Java chip macchiato latte frappuccino just isn't the same. I have tinnitus too. Treble health noise therapy. I don't even know what that is. What is that? Check it out. But I do have bad tinnitus. But we're talking about me speaking Bidenese on live stream. Sometimes I can't formulate ideas and finish sentences, so that's why we're thinking about fixing our sleep on stream. ASMR for sleep. I feel like devices at night, just anything like that, will mess up my sleep cycle. Now we're talking about supplements I've never heard of before, chat. Putting on some rain sounds, yeah, that does help. I feel like there's anything there, but I think that once like the rain sounds cut off, like I remember I was waking up at 2 a.m. every morning and I was like, what's going on? But it was because I was listening to something and my phone had an auto like snooze feature or whatever, sleep feature, where it's like at this hour it'll stop, and then the changing of my environment was waking me up. So bad. Oh, amber tint glasses were effective for you. I have some pretty expensive, I wear contacts and I have glasses. I wear my glasses with like the blue light filter, but it doesn't help. I do like the Y-Files. Y-Files is cool. I like the conspiracy theories and stuff, but I don't like that fish. I know like Joe Rogan talked about the fish is what makes the show and it makes it fun. It's funny. It's hilarious. I'm like, that fish is so annoying to me. I don't care about it. Methylene blue, I would like to try it, but I'm terrified to try it. I feel like that's scary of this fabric dye, and also I now know that when you buy supplements off Amazon, sometimes they're not sold to you by the vendor, even if it looks like it's sold by the vendor. Like I bought Alpha Brain from Joe Rogan's brand or whatever on Amazon, and I was taking it and I was like, oh, I like this, and then I got a new bottle. It looked different, and when I looked at the pills were different. And I'm like, oh, someone's scamming me. I don't know which one is a scam. You said the fish is the best part about the Y-Files. Everybody loves the fish. I personally can't stand it. I don't know. Like the fish takes a bit to get used to. Honestly, I'm just not a fan. Yeah, Amazon's all over these days with scams, and that's the sad thing is, Walmart was doing it. I bought a rare Shohei Ohtani Angels jersey when I was over there, and they sent me a fake, and I was like, what the fuck, Walmart? Like, how are you getting fakes? And I realized Walmart had a marketplace that was like Amazon, and then now I found out Target. Like, I wanted to buy a Pokemon card. I'm like, whoa, Target has Pokemon cards on stock online, so I wanted to buy it from them, but it wasn't Target. It was just some reseller selling me like pre-weighed, heavily marked up Pokemon cards, and it's like, this is a scam. And then we're trying to buy my niece an expensive camera. Best Buy is now having essentially scams on there too. Like, Best Buy isn't selling me Canon or whatever the camera was, or Sony. It's like, it's not from there. The picture on bestbuy.com is an image from AliExpress, and I'm like, I think I'm probably going to be sold a fake off of Best Buy. Like, I don't, yeah, third-party sellers. I think all of them are scams. I'm sure some of them might be okay, like on eBay. You might be able to find some rare sneakers that are sold by a guy that really is selling them, but I'm guessing a lot of them, especially with those long shipping times, they're just fakes from essentially China. It's hard to find Pokemon cards nowadays thanks to scammers. I go to a bookstore and I look in a Target. If I'm by it, I'll just poke my head in there and see if maybe they got the delivery late. But from what I've heard from the workers is, on delivery days, there must be some person on the staff that tells them there'll be a line out the door. And I'm like, I like Pokemon cards. I would like to open up Pokemon cards on live stream, but not to the extent that I would do that. It's bad, and it's actually affecting brick and mortar storefronts, and that's sad. It's like they'll undercut them on prices and then sell fakes online instead. It's sad. I will only like I'm dumb. I'm weird. I like sneakers. What's the sneaker I wanted most recently? The Unions or whatever. I wanted to purchase those, but if I don't get them from the official sneakers Nike website, Adidas website, or like the Union website, I refuse to buy them resale because I know they're gonna be, well, I don't know, but a good majority of them are gonna be fakes by scam artists. Walmart has restocks every Wednesdays in stores and online around 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Didn't know that. That's kind of cool. What you say? Chinese products literally destroyed the market and society because of it. It's the cheap knockoffs that hurt everybody, and now it's moving into the movie business with that CSeek or whatever. Them making Hollywood like knockoff AI movies that are indistinguishable from reality. Where, what is it? Marvel moved too heavily, and Star Wars moved too heavily into like green screen CGI effects. At the same time, AI is getting better, so it's like AI or Hollywood's tripping out that AI is making realistic looking movies, but at the same time, they can't sue China. China has like no IP laws, you know? You want the Trump sneakers? I saw the Trump sneakers when I was on Timcast IRL. He was skating in them. Like, he just had them by his skateboard, and it's like, I know it's a meme, but those things, the quality look terrible. They're like probably like $200 or something. They look bad. Disney's been using AI-based computer generation for nearly a decade. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it at all. Yeah, that's why Trump's trying to detox us from China, and we'll be much better off once we get away from them. I think COVID was the giant... Let's get into the top today. But I think COVID was the giant red pill moment when we realized if we don't have the means of production... I sound like a socialist or a communist or whatever. But if we don't produce our own stuff, we're always going to be beholden to China. And should we go to war? Should we have bad trade negotiations? We'll always lose with them, so we need to start to produce stuff here again, and I think that's good with the chips over in Florida. I think it's good with manufacturing here. I think it's good with the tariffs, so we start to produce more products in America. I think it's all good, but the media is never going to point that out because the media is just more concerned with Trump, Orange Man bad, than actually telling us what makes the country stronger and safer. 3D printed meat has been around for a long time. I didn't realize that. Hey, going to war with China is not a great idea. Going to war, period, is not a great idea, because that means that we have frontline soldiers losing their life for no damn reason because politicians. No, this ain't silver. This is I think stainless steel, but it's designer, so it's cool. I think silver is more what do you call it? Harder to maintain, right? I think I have a silver bracelet and it's already tarnishing, and I can't just hop in the shower with it like with this one. With AI becoming so good, should we just give up? No, you just need to learn how to adapt with it. Like, lean into it. Sad to say, like with careers in journalism are disappearing because there's actually entire like websites where the newsroom is all AI, but there's still going to be somebody on the helm. There might not be a journalism team of 10 editors. I'm sorry, 10 writers and 1 editor. It'll now be all AI and 3 editors. Figure out how to become the editor. You polish your silver chain every week, and then, even then it's dull. Exactly. I don't know how to fix it. This slightly upriver jazz. I don't know what upriver jazz is, but honestly, it's just AI jazz. It's all the background stuff, so I can never get copyright struck for music that I made. AI lets you code 5 times faster, but you still need to know what you're doing. Exactly. You are not a coder. You are almost like a proofreader with coding. So I mean, it's getting better. I do know that there's issues with it writing spaghetti code, but again, learning to adapt with the times, becoming someone that utilizes technology, not shake your fist at technology. Like always people saying AI needs to stay out of order. It's like you guys are like the lamplighter's protesting the electric bulb. You guys already lost, you just don't know it yet. What's all this Canada argument right now? Chat went off the rails. But okay, we've been chatting for long enough. Yeah, if you guys aren't already subscribed over on Decap Decoy, we got 83,000 subscribers, which is pretty awesome. Let's see if it's actually even moved the needle at all since we've been on. No, so we're good. But yeah, 700 watching over there. But this was to be expected after we got nuked from orbit the other day. Whatever, it is what it is. But like we've been saying for a while, what was it? Since 2 weeks ago, we saw the massive anti-ICE protests over in LA, which made outside the federal building a dangerous place to be. Then, also 2 weeks ago, they started using kids, taking them out of school to start protesting in the streets. And then as of 1 day ago, we talked about actually how it's getting dangerous. And now it looks like lawsuits are finally coming. Because you see this over here. Can't play all this video, but it's like students and federal police officers clashed during downtown LA protest. It's a couple students, and they started to point them out because they're now looking for them because it's easy to identify them. But they were actually using, you can see these poles to attack the federal officers, and I think they were also, unfortunately, accidentally harming their own people too. But since then, you saw a bit of a scuffle.
March and rally has turned into be a little more violent. So the student-led march that we showed you earlier on was about 100 or so people. They were marching through the Civic Center area, managed to make it over here to the federal detention area, and that's when they entered the property. They went. They were asked to stay on the sidewalk outside of the detention area.
Yeah, because this is actually the parking lot over there. Now they're in the street, and the simple fact that they got there, that's a dangerous journey to walk through downtown LA to get there. Like, you're right off the freeway, there's traffic over there, but they found out. It said there was a nation, this was like a flyer from I Am the Moon Dare to Struggle organization saying, or Dare to Struggle National saying, across LA County, over 500 students from 24 plus schools. So there's not 24 local schools. They had to walk far to get there. They walked out defying hostile administrators with about 10 schools in the downtown shutting down traffic, meaning get there in the streets, demanding something in Spanish because they refused to be sent there, but they also demand that we become there. Like, it's weird. After moving speeches and the crowd barely confronted a handful of DHS agents outside the Metropolitan Detention Center. The full-day protest ended with a celebration and dancing in front of MDC's blocked entrance. So notice how they say there was dancing and celebration. We barely confronted the DHS agents, meaning you fought them, you struck them, probably even struck your fellow students, and you're trying to say this was a peaceful thing. But, like we saw in that other video, one teacher was fired for opening the school gate, saying, hey, he unlatched a fence to prevent students from getting injured while escaping because they hurt themselves hopping over the day earlier. Meaning to say, they know this is a dangerous journey. They know they're getting hurt. They know a student got stabbed at it, earlier in this month and also a year before. But they're finally firing the teachers responsible for this. Exactly, they're running out of gas. They said, Lopez was fired for insubordination because, look, they're kind of trying to keep the kids in class, because if the teacher is helping them leave campus, he's actually making the school district responsible, because this is now a teacher-allowed walkout. This is a faculty-led situation. They said the school respects the students' right to express themselves, but must prioritize safety. You know, safety for the school board and liability, what I think. Now, the students are saying, bring us the teacher back. I think there's a GoFundMe in a petition with 1,000 signatures. They're trying to bring them back, but honestly, it's they're finally losing steam. They can't write these fluff pieces saying there was celebration and dancing in the street when there was actual assaults of federal officers, and these guys, they're kids. But I think they're gonna be charged, because you're starting to see stuff like this over at a anti-ICE walkout. They're now not going to war with that's a bit of hyperbole, but they're attacking because they're throwing bottles at them. Oh, there's music or whatever. But a guy wearing a Trump hat getting apples and water bottles thrown at him. They're shouting at him with a megaphone. Like, this is not something the school district can endorse, because this is dangerous for everybody involved. Like, you don't know who this guy is that they're throwing stuff at him. What if he's a insane, violent person and starts to attack them back? What if he just has pepper spray or something? Like, you don't want this to result in violence. You don't want them to get hurt, but it very easily could be like that. Yeah, this is utter lawlessness. Like, where is this right now? Outside a barber shop, they have signs, and it's like, here it is, just kids parroting zombie talking points. They don't know a thing about border laws. They don't know anything about how many people Obama deported compared to Trump. They don't know a thing about the kids in cages during their administration. They don't know anything other than, here's an excuse for you to ditch school. Here's an excuse for you to not be lectured by your dumb liberal teacher just rambling on about stuff you're never going to use in the real world. Can't we just go out there and party and dance in the streets and get social media points for whatever? It's sad. It's they're indoctrinated fools. They're sheep, but they're being put in danger, which is a problem. But finally, you have, what's Fox 59? I don't know, but you have, what the heck? You have one of these schools where it looks like the teachers, or not the teachers, the parents are finally going to start to file long overdue lawsuits.
Protests over ICE, but one father was so pissed about this, he went straight to the school board.
Now it's personal. Our children are involved.
Yep.
I am sick and tired of watching politicians and school boards,
Indiana,
people
okay,
from the city, telling children they can go out and fucking get, excuse my language, go out and get in the face of law enforcement. Good evening, my name.
Exactly, because look, they even tried to look the other way. It was moving speeches and speaking Spanish, and they barely confronted a handful of DHS agents. No, this wasn't barely confronted. What if your daughter was the one that was just picking up her sign and gets whacked over the head by this insane other student trying to fight the feds? Like, this isn't just peaceful protesters and they're like having a celebration and marching. It's like, no, you're teaching them to be the future felons. You're teaching them to be the future pretties, the future goods that will lose their life on behalf of a movement that will do absolutely nothing but give the Democrats a few more talking points to talk about on television. He doesn't want his kids to be used as a useful idiots for this. Nobody should allow their kid to be used as a useful idiot for this unless you yourself is indoctrinated by this nonsense.
My name is Vance Galavi, and on the afternoon of February 2nd, 2026, my 14-year-old child called me. He was not at school. He was not sick. He was in the middle of White Center, Washington, in the middle of a protest that was organized for his middle school.
Oh, I think this was a guy we saw on the other stream where he picked up his kid and said, I didn't want to go, but the teachers walked us out there. And there was kids in the middle of the road when he was going up to pick him up. So it's like, yeah, he has a reason to be outraged. I think it's crazy how people keep on pointing out the people in the background on how they're almost smirking at his outrage, not knowing that it could have been easily their kid that got hurt. Yeah, that's the guy that found out his son was involved in the walkout. He was angry, and he said he'd bring it up at the next school board meeting, and kudos to him, he actually showed up.
Okay, my stomach dropped when he called me. You guys have noticed that on January 30th, 2026, 2 children were killed just blocks from a school on Rainier that was having a very walkout that day.
I didn't know about that.
RCW 28A600035 by allowing...
Well, that's crazy. So there was kids lost their life, and that wasn't national news? That's wild to me. At least he didn't dress up like Batman, because he dressed up in a 3-piece suit. with a tie on. He wants to actually impact something. Sad to say, people will take you more serious if you dress like this. Like I think you can even see he has like sleeve tattoos poking out. Obviously, when I used to go to court a lot, I would wear suits. I wouldn't wear my casual clothes and a baseball cap because that impacts things.
On them to leave, and under Initiative 2081, the Parental Bill of Rights, I have the right to know where my child goes. That was taken from me.
Isn't it crazy? The Parental Bill of Rights. What was it? In Florida, the Parental Bill of Rights. No, the Parental Rights and Education Bill. They called it the Don't Say Gay Bill. But when all it did is say a teacher can have a conversation about even being gay, as long as it was in the classroom setting. But if a teacher ever has a one-on-one conversation with a student about adult activities, it must be disclosed to the parent. Everybody, I mean everybody, should be on board with saying, hey, with all this funny business with teachers and students, if they have a private conversation with your kid about this stuff, the parental should have a right to be informed about it. But then the Democrats labeled it the Don't Say Gay Bill, got all outraged when, if you read the text, it was a short bill. Never referenced that at all. That's how insane they've gotten.
I was not given notice. I was not given an email. I was not given a call. You expose him to real danger, that's neglect and that's endangerment. RCW 9842035, criminal negligence by not being aware of the substantial risk.
Yes.
You call it policy?
She's shaking her head.
I call it abandonment. I am filing a lawsuit before the ball drops. I want to make something perfectly clear. Someone's going to be held accountable.
And I think that's why California, as liberal as they are, they started firing people, and they fired this guy because they do not want the lawsuits coming in when inevitably, and I keep on saying, I've been saying it for weeks, somebody's going to get hurt. One of these kids is going to get injured. Like, I think in Nebraska, the one girl got run over for running at a car, and I think it was a student in the car. I don't even think they panicked. I think they were trying to get around him, but the girl ran in front of her. She got hit. Now, very fortunate she wasn't severely injured, but the idea is it keeps on teetering on it, and if you're allowing them to essentially fight the feds and walk miles across downtown city streets, something's going to happen, and they're going to be held liable, because you can't say they didn't have foreknowledge of this. It's been happening for months now.
All of you will remember it. Because for some reason we lose our case, we'll make a case law out of this, protect parents' rights to know where our kids are.
Says firing people doesn't stop lawsuits, but what it does do is it deters the other administrators, the other faculty members, the other teachers from doing the same. Like over in Nebraska, when the kid got hit by the car, they said, yeah, they didn't let her out, but she was allowed to make that poster in class time. You got to make sure the teachers are afraid they're going to be held personally liable for helping these kids protest by firing the ones that do help, to hopefully downstream make it so you don't have an environment where activist teachers are making activist students because they think they're going to be immune from punishment.
At all times. It's ridiculous. It's criminal negligence. And yes, a principal was fired for coercing students participate in protesting.
Good.
Just so you know. I had an hour worth of yelling to do, but today I'm going to narrow it down to 2 minutes because you didn't give me enough time. But I will be here at every school board meeting to continue what I had to say today. I am not finished, and I yield my time.
Throughout the rest of this public comment section, we predictably had a bunch of people of the liberal persuasion praising these brave students. One guy speaks.
How many of these actually have kids in this class that were marching in the streets, put in danger? I want to know. Yeah, what a great father. These aren't the moms? That would be crazy if they weren't. At WDAD.
Though stuck out to me, and it wasn't because of what he said, but because of the reaction he caused on these people behind him. Watch.
Let's try to remember Charlie Kirk.
Whoa, oh my. So he just said, he talked about Charlie Kirk, someone that was assassinated, and she's almost rolling her eyes at that, which is insane because I want to know if her reaction to Charlie Kirk is this.
Try to remember Charlie Kirk.
Was she crying about pretty? Was she crying about good? Which is just showing us that they don't care about life. They care about winning some war in their head. It's kind of scary.
It was 90% smarter than most of the people sitting in this room.
This is true.
And his core value was to bring people to debate, to
This is all true.
understand what
Wow, they're sitting
was
back there
happening in the
laughing and
world
talking
today.
about that is wild. That is wild. That's why you have some parents that are willing to send their kid out there in the streets to possibly be run over, because these are the type of parents they have at home telling them that. Yeah, it's against their mentality. Very sad.
get people to talk about what was going on. But I guess it didn't align with what everybody else wanted to see.
I really wish
so
I could
they
hear what they're
murdered
saying.
him.
They're laughing.
We all know who Charlie Kirk is.
Mhm.
I'm sure everybody, especially the head of the teachers union here, knows who Charlie Kirk is. He was somebody bringing this country together.
Yep.
Whether people disagreed with him or not.
He was willing to talk with them. Like, what was the debate he was gonna have before he passed away, or he was assassinated? Was with Hassan. If he's willing to talk to a guy like that, I don't know many people from the left that are willing to talk to a Ben Shapiro.
He was getting the
And not even saying that Ben Shapiro is the same thing as Hassan. I'm just saying prominent liberal or prominent conservative figure. Yeah.
kids to come out and talk. And I got some bad news. He touched a lot of people between 8 and 35 years old.
Yep.
And those people are going to rise up and they're going to make.
And he ran out of time. I expect all of this, though, to cause rising homeschooling rates to propel
Yes.
even...
I know people that are very liberal that already know they're going to homeschool their kids. Because they know what happens on those campuses. Even if you're liberal, even if you agree with this stuff, you may not be as liberal as your insane teacher that's going to just fill those kids with insane ideals and actually use them as their political pawns, their sacrificial lambs. It's scary.
higher.
Yeah, good on Daily Caller right there. But it's like, it's one thing when they think, oh, we're going to have a party, we're going to fight that. But I think they're losing steam and they're starting to find out that they aren't this resistance. It isn't trending. This is what I would see, like, when millennials look at boomers and think they're lame. This is Gen Z looking at millennials and thinking they're lame because they're not freedom fighters. They're not fighting oppression. They're goobers. Like, look at this over here. This is the same building right here that the kids were marching to, and they fought the feds. This is the federal building in downtown. The reason that whenever they march on this, they close like 3 exits in downtown. It's very annoying. But this. He's a loser. He's a loser. He's a goober. Like, I'm fighting fascism. I have a pirate flag, but also squeal like a piggy when the slightest amount of consequences come my way. They see people like that. They see this right here in Massachusetts. Like, this is when the kids walk off campus to protest ICE. They're not this. They're seen as this. They're aligning themselves with this.
Be surprised, people in this world are getting organized.
Again, these are talented people. That's an amazing level of harmony and singing that I can never accomplish myself. Great. But they're theater kids. They're theater kids that don't have any plays to go to anymore. Don't have all the they don't have an environment where they can go on stage and everybody will pay attention to them. Not being mean, I'm just stating a fact because obviously I'm over the hill as well. But the biggest moments of their theater career are behind them. Now they're trying to find another platform and they're using activism and it's not putting across a message that they think it is. It doesn't stop them from being cringe, yet they don't realize they're past the grade school era where everybody would show up to their singing event, their concert, and clap and smile for them. This is adulthood and nobody cares.
You're bound to lose, you fascists bound to lose. Oh.
I think the kids will see this and say, I don't want to be aligned with this. Because as you said on chat, it's losing steam. Like, this is the level of desperation they have right now. Of essentially tornado sirens against ICE. Like, obviously they say this is illegal, they need to get rid of it. But I mean, this is nuts. Yeah, millennials are kidults. I think I am a prime example of them. I think they said action figures and toys are more purchased by millennials than they are Gen Z. Like, obviously my nieces were like past the age of toys or whatever, but my nephew, I don't think he ever was really into toys. I think he was just into sports and running around and being dirty, which is like kind of what like my childhood was more like. But I think that yeah, millennials kind of had that like Arrested Development, and we've been more captured by being like, you know, kids.
All right, what you're hearing right there is an ice warning. It's blaring through Highland Park. It's a new tactic to immediately alert people about ice activity. The sirens can be heard from half a mile away.
A siren? That has to violate so many noise ordinances, and the idea that who's in charge of saying ice is here, and what goes to say that somebody with like a flipper can't go there, hack it, and just turn it on nonstop. I would honestly, I was thinking I wasn't going to do it. I was not going to do this. This is not an idea to do. But there was all the anti-ice protests outside of Dodger Stadium, and I was going there for, I think I went to travel all the way out there for Ohtani's return to pitching, his first day back as a pitcher, and I was like, wouldn't it be the nefarious plan for me to say go on Reddit and like, you know, pay some astroturfing company to say, hey, huge ice operation to occur outside Dodger Stadium, and also off this off ramp. They're gonna do all this immigration enforcement out there, and I'm like, yeah. If I want to go to a concert, if I want to go to a Dodger game, or if I want to go anywhere that I just don't want to deal with, you know, typical LA traffic, why wouldn't I just start the room with it? There's like huge ice activity there, and then just kind of drive in traffic free. Sad to say, they're making. Don't do this, but I'm saying with this little device, they're making it possible now.
At least 20 have already been installed near homes and businesses, and an online fundraiser has been started to help expand the system.
A fundraiser. So who's funding this? Find out who's funding it and arrest them.
However, the LAPD says the sirens could violate the noise ordinance.
And here's the problem is, it could violate noise ordinance, but if LAPD won't enforce these smallest of infractions, I don't think they're going to start to enforce this, because obviously Mayor Karen Bass isn't going to support her coppers turning this off when she wants to be the mayor that does not assist ICE.
If they get a complaint. All right, what you're hearing right there is...
Yeah, that's terrible, and I wonder how bad that is for the environment. Like, you know, the left likes to be for the environment and all that stuff, but it's like, I'm sure that disturbs birds, that disturbs the wildlife, that you know, there's all sorts of stuff that they just kind of let go of when it becomes not the current trending thing, the NPC talking points of the left. Like, what is it? They're all about green energy, renewables, and reduce, reuse, and all that stuff. But as soon as AI became their thing, they want to push. You don't really see anti-energy production movements anymore, because they know how much AI is terrible for the environment. And they suddenly don't care anymore. Yeah, the poor birds, raccoons, and foxes, like everything, doggos, everybody. Even just someone that is unfortunate enough to be living right near wherever they installed that. Like, oh yeah, we gotta do this for the greater good. Kind of like the Chaz or the Chop or any of these protests. Obviously, it's impacting your ability to go to work and get a good night's sleep, but for the greater good, we need to sacrifice your goodwill or your ability to sleep or your ability to move freely around your city because we had to fight ICE. Yeah, they love their AI, yet ignore how much energy data centers take. Exactly. And narcissists beware, that's all it is. Narcissism. The stop oil activists. My need to be an activist and have social media moments is more valuable than your ability to get to the hospital today. It's crazy. Imagine destroying an environment to own the ICE. Imagine protecting the cartels. Imagine looking the other way for human trafficking and fentanyl overdoses because the TV told you ICE was bad, the TV told you Trump's deportations are bad, but Obama's deportations were okay. They don't have any virtues or ethics to land on other than, I want to be not canceled on social media, I want to be known as one of the good guys, but I can't conceptualize the rationale behind it. I'm just a useful idiot that parrots whatever convenient talking points make me feel morally superior than you. These people are cringe but have too much pride to know it. They will be the butt of the joke in 15 years, the way people make fun of hippies. Exactly. I'm no stranger to the idea that every trendy haircut I got will be seen as a mullet in 20 years. Like, what is the haircut that everybody had? What is it? I had this haircut. Yep, I had this exact haircut. The undercut comb over. This was probably, what year was this? like 2015, 2010, and it was dope. Like, this was the haircut you got to get the girls and all that. It is not. It's gonna be looked back, the bowl cut. It's gonna be looked back as like the mullet from that year, and I completely know that looking back, it'll be terrible. But honestly, that's just what it is. Korean Chad was such a dumb haircut. It was a dumb haircut, but honestly, with what I think before that I was rocking a lineup. It's so funny to even say now. 360 waves, a lineup, and like a burst fade on the sides and even on the front. That's what I had. Rat tail decoy, no, it was not that. Frosted tips, bro. We're gonna bring it back. No, I'm not bringing. No, I've never dyed my hair actually. So that is the thing. I have very weird deep red hair here. They actually get perms for that stuff. Yeah, I have very voluminous, like wavy, curly hair, so I never had to perm my hair. And I was learning that like a lot of Korean men perm their hair. Like I watched this Vietnamese YouTuber about fashion. And he's very successful, but it was wild for me to realize that he even have a little bit of volume to his hair. He was getting perms all the time, and I'm like, that's weird, man. That's weird. The Zach Morris. I mean, we're all going full circle. Saved by the Bell, Boy Meets World. That's like the hairstyles I get now, like old money hairstyles, and that's all like Zach Morris, Boy Meets World, that era. It's fashion is circular, you know. Kyle Kalinske never left 2008. Yeah, it's kind of funny. They still have mullets in New Zealand, sadly. Well, they still have mullets in like Los Angeles and New York City, where it's like the liberals get the mullets. Like if you see, I think it's iDubbbz for a period of time. It's like short in the front but longer back there. Even my barber keeps on talking about like, oh yeah, you want the modern mullet, we're gonna give you a burst fade here and it'll be longer back there. And I'm like, nah, we're looking for like just kind of shaggy lived in look. I think I'm not trying to do too much of that other stuff. Decoy in a boy band. I mean, I wish if my life could be dancing and singing and touring the world instead of talking about garbage on the internet, I think I'd choose K-pop. Sing Golden. Yeah, I will be a K-pop demon hunter, guys. Decoy Joji, exact. That's so wild to me that he was like this insane green screen screaming weirdo social media guy. Said it was giving him a headache to be that, like, you know, crazy all the time, and just became like an R&B star. I don't think he has since made too many like hit songs, but the idea that he is a R&B star and he used to be a YouTuber. The broccoli is this generation's mullet. I mean, what can we find it on my thing? I think maybe was my hair. Let's see. Well, I think when we started Decaf and then I took a long break. No, we didn't have it here. It was somewhat of like the broccoli cut, I think. Let's see. They arrested him. Didn't. I feel like this kind of was the broccoli cut. Like this was just me, let my waves do their thing after I got out of the shower, and I had like the burst fade on the side. So yeah, I think I was a bit of like a broccoli cut before. Broccoli hair needs to die off. I mean, it is what it is. Eyebrow cuts, maybe I do need to have the Diet Zero broccoli. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, guys. Like, I think as my hair recedes, Jack Doherty hair, that's exactly what it was. It's, as this thins out, I'll probably need to go something back to that. You say it looks good now, but honestly, what's up? We're talking about haircuts right now. Just because we are. That is bizarre. What the heck? I typed in Timcast IRL Decoy Voice. I was on Timcast, but their episode isn't up there. Oh, here it is. That's so weird. That's crazy how much I own the Decoy in the algorithm, because the search term was Timcast IRL Decoy Voice. On the first result, he's obviously Timcast IRL, but on this one, I'm 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 this one, just my random ass video too, and you gotta scroll all the way down to get to me. That's wild. But No, I think when I made my appearance over there, I didn't like it. But yeah, I was looking at my hairline. I was like, man, under that harsh studio lighting, it's aged me. I've been aged like 40 years on that appearance, and I was like, I came home and almost like immediately cut my hair. Decoy with the same haircut as the guy from the Prodigy Firestarter. What is it, the Prodigy? What the heck? The Prodigy. It's a rock band? Oh, that guy? No, that guy looks... This guy looks like he's from like Fallout New Vegas. I'm not doing that, guys. British punk? Exactly. I'm not... okay, here's my extent of knowledge of punk. Sum 41. Blink 182. Does My Own Worst Enemy... Does Lit My Own Worst Enemy count as punk? I don't know. Oh, he just passed away? Okay, that's sad. It's not punk? None of those are punk? Wait, Sum 41's not punk? I'm not real, guys. I don't know anything about it. Lit was pop punk. Okay. Skate punk. Okay, yeah. Blink 182 skate punk. I get that. Okay, yeah. Pop punk. Okay. I mean, that's like saying Drake is a rapper. Yeah, he raps, but he's more auto-tuned than anything, so it's like that would be it. No Doubt? Wait, No Doubt's punk, right? I have a No Doubt vinyl just recently. Yeah. Ska? No, I thought ska had to be music with a trumpet or horns in it, right? Yeah, whatever. But we got to go back to California. California's having issues where Minneapolis fraud was wild, but these guys are finding that California fraud is probably much worse.
All right, you guys, I'm here at the same building, and we have
Genius Kids Learning Center. At least the genius kids know how to spell learning. But interesting how they teach you English, Armenian, math, chess, robotics. Okay.
Genius Kids Learning Center. I want to make sure that all kids can become geniuses. Let's enroll everyone we can and promote this business. All right, you guys, so we're back inside the building 12444 Victory Boulevard.
There is a lot of office space, but obviously we don't know what hour of day this is. We don't know if the kids should be in class, and obviously if there were kids there, you wouldn't want them recording. But since it's an empty building, we got questions.
Right next door to the home health is consulting. Just a handshake. Genius Kids Learning Center. It's a great spot. They're now enrolling. And in fact, I'm just curious, Brian Krasenstein, why would the Kids Learning Center have health and safety code violations all throughout the building? The Genius Kids Learning Center isn't just one place, okay? They've been expanding. They've been doing really well. They're also at 201.
I mean, maybe their business is doing so good they had to expand. We give them the benefit of the doubt.
And, you know, if kids can't find that door, there's one right across the hall at 216, which doesn't even make sense.
No, I kind of would, because like if it's like a school campus, they say, hey, I got tutoring at the Genius Learning Center. My appointment's at 4 p.m. Meet me in room 215 or whatever. I get that.
Arm said hospice care.
Hospice care. Oh, all the usual suspects in one building.
There's all sorts of entities operating out of.
Oh, these flyers? That makes sense. So it's not actually what's there. It's a flyer for it.
Each floor of this place, and it's hard to get any information on the owner of the building, but that would be the next person to let know. There's some things falling apart in this building.
Okay, it would make sense if these are just flyers and they're advertising to this consulting firm. Very bizarre. But then This kid, outraged teen, finding out what's really happening with Medicaid fraud?
So you might be curious to know why I'm standing at the cemetery right here. Well, the reason is because a bunch of federal dollars were sent to dead people. Yes, we're talking about billions of dollars. $1.4 billion in COVID stimulus checks, $1.3 billion in accidental payments during fiscal year 2023,
Yep.
and $207 million in recent years of fraudulent Medicaid payments. And they went to people like who? Catherine Chubby, right? Okay, so Madam Chubby might have received money during one of these recent years while she was dead, right? No longer living, no longer around. And the family or some fraudster may have taken advantage of the money, even though it belonged to her and she wasn't alive to claim
huge
the
issue.
benefit, right? We definitely mourn the people that are here at the cemetery, okay? But I also mourn the billions of taxpayer dollars that have been lost because why? The Treasury Department in particular was not able to access a master file that has records of people that go all the way back to
And
1899.
who's auditing this? If the answer is nobody, we have an issue.
To determine whether the payments they sent out were truly proper or whether they were improper, right? So the SSA, the Social Security Administration, has access to this master file, and because they weren't able to coordinate or collaborate with the Treasury Department, and because they don't have permanent access to it, they sent out a bunch of accidental payments. So what did they do? Congress authorized a pilot program in 2021 in one of their appropriations bills to allow the Treasury Department access to this master list for 3 years. And they were able to, as a result, claw back $31 million in improperly spent funding, and also make sure that there wasn't all kinds of other funding that went out to people it was not supposed to go out to. So John Kennedy, who is a senator from Louisiana, proposed a bill to make this change permanent. And as a result, Donald Trump signed this into law, requiring now that multiple federal agencies coordinate to make sure that this funding is not sent out illegally. And on top of that, granting the Treasury permanent access to this master list of people who have been around since 1899, which is estimated to have a net benefit of $215 million just within the next few years to come.
Yeah, and it's funny because, not funny, but this guy's name is he's called the Outraged Teen. He is more well-versed in what's going on with this fraud and all this immigration situation right now than, I don't have the video pulled up anymore, than any of those kids running around in the streets over in Los Angeles, beating down federal officers with a pole, committing felonies, and just destroying their lives. He's more well-versed than any of them. He's outraged, but he isn't out there, like, causing destruction to his own community. He's just trying to inform people of why they should think the way that is. He's arguably doing... This one video right here does more than any of those massive protests all across the cities, all across the country, where these kids are getting run over and sometimes stabbed. So kudos to him for finding this out, but it's sad where I can't find the clip here of what it's. This is over in Sherman Way, over in like the Valley part of Los Angeles, but I can't find the clip of the girl complaining. But what's happening is people are starting to realize there's this fraud with healthcare, with tutoring and medical transportation and learning centers and autism care. There's Medicare fraud that's going to people that don't even exist anymore, that have since passed away. And also, they're finding out that all throughout Los Angeles, they're allowing people to just build restaurants on the street, no health code, no rent, no permits. Tent after tent after tent. And I'll tell you right now, this is Sherman Way. Down the street, there's a Mexican restaurant from where this was filmed at that had one of these huge tent restaurants open up. And then on all the service streets around this, residentials, like houses, are opening up restaurants where they'll have like corn dogs for sale, or there's Mexican food they're cooking up. It's everywhere. But the sad part is there's a video I can't find right now, but it's a girl complaining about how there's a homeless guy on the street, parked his stuff out there, sprawled out, taking up a parking spot. But when my car was out there, I got a parking ticket. And I think what the great awakening is right now that's happening is just like the Mexican food restaurant behind this restaurant on the street, just like the people finding out Medicaid fraud's rampant, or you're paying in your tax dollars into the school system and they're using it to just defraud Americans, or you're a regular resident paying for a parking ticket and paying for a parking spot. Meanwhile, the bums can set up their tent and just take up 2 spots. Is, as a LA resident or a California citizen, you are not, the Democrats don't serve you. They just see you as tax cattle. You are there to finance their program to help autism. You're there to finance their LGBT initiative. They're not there to serve any benefits to you or clean up the streets or put away criminals. You are just there to be taxed and fined so they can, I don't even want to say it's like complete their agenda. Because while all this is happening in LA, all this suffering, all these deficits, Spencer Pratt, who's running for mayor, is finding out that Skid Row, where all the homeless people are out there, what is Mayor Karen Bass's priority right now is to find a Los Angeles poet laureate, where they say they need a creative leader that champions the importance of literature, poetry, and the spoken word. They're all calls for a visionary storyteller who can reveal the world as it is, imagine what it could be, and inspire emerging writers, thinkers, and young people to find their own creative voices. Who wants to go with me right now and go on Couchy or go on one of those betting apps and say the poet laureate that they hire is not going to be a non-college educated white straight male? I'm willing to bet major money that Mayor Karen Bass is not going to hire a white straight male that didn't go to some liberal arts college to become their poet laureate. And again, the city is in dire conditions right now, but her priority is, we need what's likely going to be a diversity hire to write poetry in the city. And what's worse is, she's gonna run the city into the ground, actually burn it to the ground, and is gonna rely on a state bailout from California. But what's Governor Newsom doing right now? Is he in Germany? Is he in Germany right now talking trash about our National Guard? Like, this is nuts.
But I want to remember all those images of masked men, the secret police, something familiar in Germany.
It's Germany. Yeah, he's
those
in Germany.
First images came out of my state, the second largest city in the United States of America. We saw 4,000 National Guard federalized. First time. We'd never seen anything like this.
Yeah, because he's saying, oh yeah, the National Guard was federalized. Maybe it's because you let your city riot for months. People were getting hurt. Things are getting destroyed. Like, they were protesting ICE, but allowing them to loot sushi restaurants. Like, this is California. Remember, this is nuts. Like, snipers up there. They were able to take over streets, block everything downtown. They were sending fireworks at horse cops. They were taking over the freeways. Like, this was a major issue, and the only reason it stopped is because I lost my spot. Is because Donald Trump deployed the National Guard and then also said, we're gonna look into who is funding this. And then magically overnight, the riots stopped in LA. But here he is over in Germany when the state is burning down. The state is not doing good. He's over there too busy, preoccupied over in Germany, yelling at the National Guard, saying they're like the Nazis.
700 active duty Marines sent not overseas, but to the second largest city in the United States.
Because we needed it, you were letting it burn. And Mayor Karen Bass was going on television saying the riots won't stop until ICE leaves the city. That's what was happening.
America.
Yeah, he brings knee pads with Trump's name on them whenever he goes overseas. It's bizarrely disgusting.
Militarizing the streets of my city. Masked men showing up, unaccountable, no IDs. But I want to remember all those.
Yeah. His voice is cracking as he's calling American military service people Nazis, and then also stroking the ego of China.
China gets it. Look at their GDP growth last year. Where was their GDP growth disproportionately? It was in the clean energy space. China.
Yeah, but also how much coal do they burn, and also how much none of it's regulated, and then also, do you trust the numbers coming out from China? Like, I never trusted a single number that came out during the Biden administration about unemployment numbers, because they'd come out with these stellar numbers, and a month later, when people aren't thinking about it anymore, they retract it and say, actually, it was 1 million jobs worse than what we thought it was. Him saying China's doing a great job about clean energy makes me feel like he is either an idiot or he is a Chinese operative, or possibly both. I don't know what it is, but why is he? Why is he over in Germany right now scolding our military members, comparing them to Nazis? It's possibly because he was trying to escape being humiliated by his wife. Like, you see this from Kevin Dalton, this edit. It's nuts. She is a piece of work herself. I don't know the most about her, but for her to scold the journalists not giving them more positive coverage of what he's doing for Trump's war on women, maybe Newsom's, how do I put this lightly, PG-13, his treatment of women isn't the greatest, and his treatment of his best friend, his campaign manager's wife, may not also be the greatest, but then this.
No, we just find it incredulous that we have Planned Parenthood here, and women are 51% of the population.
He's so angry of getting pushed aside by his wife so she can scold the press.
And the majority of the questions, all of these questions, have really been about other issues. So it's just fascinating. You have this incredible women's...
The same thing with Tim Walz's wife, turn the page or whatever, like scolding, treating everybody like infants. Either it's their constituents, their potential voters, or the press. They talk down to you like you're an infant, like you're an idiot, and it's like, it's so off-putting, but they don't even realize it.
Caucus and all these allies, and you're not asking about it. And this happens over
He's
and
so
over
mad.
and over.
He's trying to fake a smile. And I'm like, you know what? If my wife did that to me on national television, or probably just local television because nobody cares about these people, but if he did that, maybe I'd be going to Germany to go scold some people. This is like when the guy's boss yells at him, so he comes home and he yells at his wife, and his wife yells at the kid, and the kid yells at the dog, and the dog eats a rat or something. Like, it always rolls downhill. This is Newsom out there eating rats, because that's why I see him on the totem pole. But yes, this is how bad it's getting over there. But then, I think his wife has a moment of clarity. This is from Kevin Dalton again. A moment of clarity that I think could fix the Democrats overnight. And I mean this sincerely.
Are losing their way. The people you're talking about at the top of these companies, some of these are incredibly powerful, incredibly wealthy, incredibly influential people. What do you make of tech's turn to the right?
It's disheartening and disturbing. It's very confusing. When you spend too much time
They say tech's moving right. I think tech just blows to the wind. Tech necessarily isn't. They're still selling a product. So if the majority of Americans become more conservative, you see this with Mark Zuckerberg. Very, very big on Biden. But then when Trump wins the popular vote, he's suddenly surfing or wakeboarding, whatever the fuck that was. He has an American flag. He's saying things like, oh yeah, we did censor Americans. Like, he's becoming more based and conservative. It's like, no, he's just blowing with the wind. It's almost like John Cena under Trump's first administration. He's in a movie about called The Marine. Under a Biden administration, he's apologizing in Mandarin. Like, I don't think it's very genuine what these people are doing.
in your bubble of wealth and perhaps in your limited perspective where you only interact with people of the same economic ilk.
Yes.
Unless they actually are employed by you. I think that's a really dangerous place.
Saying we're too much in a bubble, all we interact with is other rich people, we have lost contact with the average day, everyday American. I think this would solve it. Might be a little dangerous, but if you look at downtown Los Angeles, like what it actually is, this guy's just riding his bike, he's live streaming, I think.
Well, this is so...
He's playing music on it, but yeah. This is how dangerous it is, and this is what your average Los Angeles resident deals with. Average Los Angeles resident wasn't around where Spencer Pratt was hanging out. The average Los Angeles resident lives in below the poverty line. I genuinely think, if you had who is just your average rich champagne socialist Democrat like Newsom's wife. Not with her family, don't endanger anybody. Not with Newsom, not with any form of security. Have her live for 1 year. I'm serious about this. Have her live 1 year living in the apartment complex there and working at that 7-Eleven. No security, no extra benefits, just you'll work for whatever a cashier at 7-Eleven makes, and you have to walk through this right here. If she had lived that life for 1 year, no assistance. On the other side of that journey, she is going to be so much more well aligned with what the real issues an LA resident would have. I think in the first week, if not the first month, she's pushing not refund the police or whatever the opposite of defund the police. Make the police masked 20 times their budget. Give them the authority to throw all criminals in jail. Stop funding giving EBT cards to these people right here that are just criminals most of them hopped up on narcotics. Give money to the working poor. No more of this, I'm funding a Leering Center, we don't care where Medicaid money goes to. Give money to people that don't have any overhead. All they have to do is not pass safety tests, not pass safety or health inspections, not pay for permitting, not pay minimum wage, possibly have ties to the cartel. She is going to have such a better perspective on the real world. All she has to do is not be surrounded by people of the same economic ilk that are detached from reality. Give her the prototypical below the poverty line LA resident experience. No security, no rich daddy that can help you out, no husband that has political powers to get you safely where you want to be. No, live the average everyday LA lifestyle, and then I think that will fix the Democrat Party overnight. And do you know who I think could actually do that without this fictitious idea of how to fix the Democrat Party? I think Chad Bianco can do it. I think him campaigning right now is going to sway a lot of people to the conservatives, to the Republicans. Because remember, he had to denounce his Democrat Party affiliation sometime recently.
How would all of you feel if we didn't have to pay property tax once we paid off our home or once we reached 65 years old?
They're trying to do the same thing over in Florida with Governor Ron DeSantis as well.
I think we'd all be pretty happy with that. I think that as your governor, we'll make sure that both of those things are taken care of.
Yeah, if he's running on the campaign of funding the police, getting rid of property taxes, and no state income tax, I think a lot of people might say, "Oh, I'm a Democrat by default. I'm still I'm gonna vote for Karen Bass's replacement, and also that who's Fang Fang's ex-boyfriend, whatever." Like they'll vote for those people, but in private, they're gonna vote for Spencer Pratt. In private, they're going to vote for Chad Bianco. I think people don't want to pay income tax anymore. People don't want to pay for property taxes anymore. It's going to change a lot of things. Yeah, Mr. Nine says, I'll move to Cali. I think Chad Bianco's, his platform is saying all the people that fled Los Angeles and fled California for other states, he wants California to become a place that they wish they didn't leave and would like to come back to. Oh, Swalwell? Yeah, that was Swalwell, the guy that's best known for being with a Chinese spy. That's how I know him. I don't know anything else about him other than he's an idiot public speaker. He seems to have bad takes all the time, but most importantly, he's tied to a Chinese spy. That should be immediately disqualifying, but apparently that wasn't enough for the Democrats to kick him out of, what do you call them? Intelligence committees in Congress. This is Oblivion music. This is AI music, man. Can you trust Don Jr. after being with Newsom's ex-wife? I was not even aware of that being a thing. Texas property taxes low-key kicks your ass every year. They don't have income tax, I don't believe, but property taxes are high to kind of offset that. I think tariffs can wash all that out. Remember, income tax was only supposed to be temporary, and now they're permanent, and now they're like, it could be 50% depending on how much money you make every year. getting rid of that in favor of tariffs is something that every American should be behind. But if you rely on government handouts, then you're not a fan of it. That's why I think, none of this repeal the 19th nonsense. I just think only net taxpayers' votes should count. If you receive more benefits than you put into the system, you don't get to vote on how we divvy up the pie. You can't have the poorest 49% of the country, the poorest 51% of the country voting on how to spend the top 49% of the country's money. It doesn't work that way. Yeah. Property taxes, like you don't really own your land if you always have to pay property taxes. Yeah, to your knowledge, income tax was supposed to be temporary for World War. No longer any World War I veterans alive. Exactly. But that's how it is. It's like, you don't ever give up your rights and get them back. That's why during COVID, you didn't want them to give a vaccine card, because maybe we actually do have a zombie-level pandemic going on, and you want some sort of way to say, hey, if someone got bit, they can't just hide it and bring in the zombie virus to all of us. Like, maybe we want something like that, but it's like, no, you never want to give the government a tool that they later can abuse. Yeah, Social Security was supposed to be temporary, but the scheme was too good. That's every single government program in a nutshell. Medicaid was supposed to be temporary, or only for the poor or whatever, but the scheme was too good, exactly. Somebody realized you can get rich off other people's goodwill and will never give up that power, ever. It's disgusting, actually. Yeah, does anybody know it says nobody deserves to be on stolen land, Billie Eilish? Did she really get that guy deported from Australia by ICE for trying to go on her property? I don't know. Yeah. Democrats introduced policies as a litmus test to move goalposts. I mean, it's just emotions. If they can control your emotions, they can control your mind, essentially. Oh, he was turned away because he didn't have proper immigration paperwork or something. But also, interesting how the guy can't camp out on Billie Eilish's stolen land because he didn't have the proper documentations. Exactly. He said there's no such thing as stolen land, only conquered land. But I would also like to say there's purchased land. A lot of the country was purchased. What was it? Louisiana purchased from, good God, I'm probably going to get this wrong, but France, I thought. Didn't we purchase a lot of land from Mexico as well? Seems like it might have been a bad deal in retrospective, but there's a lot of parts of Mexico that are little paradises that we would like to go to as far as the climate is, but nobody's traveling from all parts of the world to try to immigrate to there because they're not a part of America. So is it the fact that the land is controlled by the United States of America, or is it because the land is so precious? It was France. You're gonna lose if you got that wrong. I mean, how much stuff do I get wrong every day? You can't say one thing if I get it bad, like American history. It's actually, it would be more on brand for me to say the Louisiana Purchase was from China, because that would be me being an idiot. Is Trump buying Greenland and Canada? I hope he does buy Greenland and Canada, but I hope it's a district, like in Hunger Games, not an actual state. Yeah, we bought from Spain, France, Denmark, Italy, and Britain. I imagine they took that land, but we purchased it. I'm not an Asian, I'm a Bijan, maybe like a Dijan at this point in time. 50 years before they can vote, exactly. I don't think they should be able to vote at all. I think we should just bring back American imperialism and then make it so no Hunger Games. No Hunger Games. What is it? Starship Troopers-esque citizenship and voting powers. Guarantees citizenship. It shouldn't just be given. No more birthright citizenship and now you can vote. We gotta jump through some hoops. America World Police, America Sparta, that's what it is. We bought Alaska from Russia? There we go. Do you want to know more? Yes. Alberta wants to become the USA's 51st state. I'll say this though, I had high hopes for Canada And then who's the guy? I always pronounce his name wrong. He was a conservative. He was not Carney. Who was the guy? He has a very weirdly spelled and then differently to pronounce name. He was the Republican frontrunner in Canada. Chat's gonna say it in a second, but once he started turning on Trump, Polyev, yeah, it looks like porridge, but it's like Polyev, Pierre Polyev. I had high hopes from him, and then he started to turn on Trump and say a lot of negative things about him, and then he lost by a landslide. He actually not only lost the prime minister election, he lost his local election too. So I thought Canada had a chance to be base, but I actually don't have any confidence in them now. Poilievre? I think that was Pierre Polyev. I don't know. None of you would last a day on Hank's crew. Are we talking about like the Look at Me, I'm the Captain Now movie? Yeah. But enough trashing on California. Let's trash on New York City, because New York City, literally mountains of garbage. And remember, this was caused when they were in a snowstorm, and they still had literal people-sized garbage heaps. This girl's like, what do I do? They say, like, import the third world. Yeah, it's getting so bad, and it was everywhere, because it not only was happening, like, I think right here, there was still a little bit of snow on the ground, but no, this person's saying, my walk to work in the financial district, New York. I think rent for a studio, like a tiny studio apartment, not even a full kitchen, so maybe a bachelor apartment, maybe with a shared restroom, $3,000 a month, and this is what you gotta walk through. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. This is New York City right now. I think they call it Mamdanistan now. So, you'd think people would be angry about this. Not minus the crime, minus the disgusting nature of the city. Just this alone. What are they protesting today on President's Day? They're protesting Trump with all these professionally printed out signs that came from somewhere. This guy in his old spike leather jacket, abolish ICE, no, in the name of humanity, we refuse to accept a fascist America. I wonder if they thought the same during the Biden administration when he wanted us all to carry documents to walk around to go to a restaurant. I wonder if they cared about that. Pro-America, anti-Trump. Okay, this is the first time I've seen them wave an American flag, so I guess that's a bit of an upgrade. Okay. Save America, dump Trump, no fascist USA, free... Again, a lot of people that should be in retirement homes, but yes. Giant protest, not against the city falling apart, but against Donald Trump.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hail to the chief, crossed out saying jail to the thief. Okay, very creative, guys. So they're all yelling "F you." I think it's a Trump Tower. Oh my god, that's just it. They're just gonna chant that over and over. F you, F you, F you, F you. Like this is just again performative activism, but also paired with somebody paid for this. They're not gonna pay to fix the problems, but they really paid for this protest. Refuse fascism website. ICE must go. Trump must go now. Again, none of these protests have resulted in any actual accomplishing anything. I think they bought like something like $1 million facility in the state of New York to hold migrants that are being deported. That's bizarre. What did that sign say? Something ICE, Taunton, Macout, immigrant. I gotta see what chat. What language is that? What is that? How come this won't even translate it for me? Is this USAID money? I don't know. Wait. Translate. Is that an actual like? Am I just tripping out? It's Haitian Creole. What? What? What is the percentage of the city that's Haitian? What? F MAGA fascists. Lots of signs, but lots of professional signs, not a lot of accomplishing anything that is there to waste time. And again, what is their mayor doing while they still have professional activists shutting down large sections of the city? Garbage is piling up everywhere. He is over there simping for the guy that pulled the knife out on the police. They said he had a mental illness, but pulled the knife out on police. And I think he's either he's in the hospital. He hasn't passed away, but he's out there simping for him.
The Queens District Attorney is expected to bring charges against Javed Akhbari later today. I'm just wondering if you talked to the Queen District Attorney about that.
Are you going to reverse the charges against a guy that tried to end police officers when you have a huge crime issue right now? Or are you going to disenfranchise them even more?
I'm curious what you would say.
So I think I caught the bulk of your question.
And again, he's on the subway. He's on subway. He's on this the bus, trying to be like, "Oh, the bus lane project. Look how safe we are." And it's like, how many armed men does he require to go on New York City's subway or bus system? If the answer is more than 0, you already know he doesn't think that the place is as safe as it is.
I have not directly spoken with the district attorney,
but vibes. That's what it always is. Joy, 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 vibes. I'm not actually accomplishing anything, but I'm gonna make you feel good about yourself.
I will say, however, that no family should have to endure this kind of pain.
Unless it was a police officer's family and he lost his life, then he wouldn't be addressing it. Again, he's a clown.
What they need right now is care, dignity, and support.
And again, if he was there personally and the guy was pulling out a blade and coming at him, he would not be saying, no, security. This guy needs care. He needs dignity, and he needs support. No, he's gonna say, "Protect me."
Javed should.
And again, because he doesn't mind sacrificing the copper's life. Doesn't mind sacrificing anybody that would actually rely on this bus lane's life. He just relies on the vibes are here. I'm getting more support, and I'm going to live in my ivory tower.
Not be prosecuted by the Queens District Attorney. His handcuffs should be removed.
The Queens.
Yeah, but did he actually say? If he hasn't talked to the DA yet to remove the charges, he doesn't actually mean it. And again, it's all vibes because you have Beto out there. I forget what he's even running for. Is Beto running? Was he running for like California or something? And they said he was at Swalwell. But yeah, nobody deserves what I'm currently doing to you. Exactly, that's what it is. But here we have more Democrats. Essentially, they said embracing communism, but also saying, hey, despite what we saw in New York City and the violence and how nobody feels safe there, and there's just paid activists taking over large parts of the city, that in fact was a good thing.
What are your thoughts on Zohran Mamdani?
I think he's one of the most exciting people in American politics, bar none. The joy with which he ran his campaign.
Again, the joy. That's what they try to run Kamala and Walz on. Not, here's some performance metrics that we had that say this is what we're doing. Here's the 5-point plan we're gonna do as president. Here's what we're gonna do to fix the country. It's always joy. He's happier than people that are angry about what's happening to our country right now. Again, it's just vibes. I can't tell you what I'm gonna do, but you're gonna feel good about it. Again, nonsense.
He just looked genuinely excited to be with the people that he wanted to serve, and so often turning the microphone over to them. I mean, when's the last time a politician willingly gave up a microphone to somebody else who wanted to speak? But I think he sought to listen to and learn from those who he wanted to lead in New York, and he presented these really bold...
He's been talking for 30 seconds. He has yet to say a single thing that he's doing other than carambling.
Clearly defined solutions to their problems. This is the most expensive city to live in America. Hey, what if we freeze the rent if you're eligible for it? How about buses are free?
How there's garbage everywhere? How about we make sure that nobody can collect tax dollars to pay for giving the garbage men a living wage so they don't strike and leave you mountains of garbage everywhere? How about we campaign on free transit system and then actually not deliver on that promise?
You can't get fresh and healthy food for your kids. What if the city got involved in helping you to get that done?
Socialism. Nothing's ever worked.
There wasn't.
Look, you're getting really excited. I just want to stop you right now. I
Yeah.
don't know if you saw. The New York Post just dropped this news article, but I mean, we can lift this from the interview if you want. Zohran Mamdani's mom has an apartment that is worth $2 million.
Jesus.
So he might have grown up in an apartment that has more than
It's like, wait. I wasn't expecting anything other than a softball conversation.
God forbid.
Yeah, see, yeah. They keep on saying this is working. It's obviously not. But then the larger issue I think that's happening is they say court of prayer blasting in New York early as 5 a.m. Now again, I don't know if this is real. Anybody can take a clip, early morning New York City, and put that audio over the top. Or anybody could just take a video from, maybe it's not sun up, I mean, it's the sun's going down, something. But there's a lot of videos of exactly this over in Brooklyn, people saying, hey, they're getting this blasted 5 times a day. I don't know if they voted for it, and I'm telling you right now, if people complain about it, even if like 80% of New Yorkers complain about it, Mamdani is not going to reverse this. Because if you see the community notes on this, they say it's being 5 times a day starting at 5 a.m. The community notes say it was in Brooklyn on 2026, but the policy limits it to Fridays and Ramadan evenings, not 5 times daily from 5 a.m. Disturbance point may hold via violation. So they're not saying it's not happening. They're saying it doesn't happen as much as you said it is. It might be violating the rules, but that's how it happens incrementally. It happens a couple times, and they say, well, it's violating a rule. Like, we played a video, I think it was over in Minnesota, where they were complaining about it, but the state wouldn't do anything about it because they say, well, this guy, we're going to cite him. We're telling him he can't do it. Like, he wasn't playing an audio clip. He was just on a loudspeaker playing it in the city, and they were getting upset about it. It's starting to happen more and more and more, because now you've seen this from Libs of TikTok talking about NYPD News, the official NYPD website, saying they hosted a World Hijab Day celebration event where they had female officers put on hijabs to show unity and inclusiveness. This isn't a display of inclusiveness, this is a display of dominance from Libs of TikTok, but by all means, if you're an NYPD copper and you wear it, practice your religion. It's interesting how LAPD coppers, they're not allowed to have beards unless I believe they're Sikh, then they can. But now you're changing rules over here. But this is actually something that the New York Police Department has held. Again, not the biggest deal if you want to, but I really wonder if you have it where they play it for their people, it's only one part at a time, and the mayor says, I'm going to look the other way. Then it incrementally gets worse. I don't think that New Yorkers, with all their liberalism and all their progressive values and their pro-woman stances, exactly know what they're bringing into their city. And I think that by the time it gets to a point where the average New Yorker, which I don't live there right now, I'm not a progressive liberal, I would not have voted for Mamdani, but I wonder how many Mamdani supporters have voted for all this stuff to come in, and at one point in time will they realize this is not what I wanted, but it will be too late to reverse it. Yeah, it's too late, I think. Yeah, most of them aren't atheists over there. I think a lot of them are Christians over there, but I don't think they have the heart or it's not spine either. It's like, I don't think they have the mentality to fight it off. Like, I don't think they have the aggression to fight it off. Like, there's the aggression to bring it in. And that's a losing battle. It's very real. It's very real. Yep. Because I saw something, I didn't pull it up because I don't know, I can't really confirm it here, but they were saying that some people within his administration want to make rules against dogs being in certain public spaces, whether it's parks, whether it's restaurants, and there's nothing that childless liberal voters love more than their dogs. And the religion they're importing large amounts of is someone that doesn't believe they're clean. So they cannot be in restaurants. They should not be pets. They should not be in parks. You'll see videos of them mistreating them in public back in their home country. And obviously it's not all of them, but it's enough of them where I don't know liberals or understand what they're bringing in. The fortitude, yeah, it's probably a better word. They don't have the fortitude, but I could say they don't have the aggression. They're very aggressively importing this ideal. They're violating cultural norms, Western values, very aggressively, but then Western liberals don't have the same aggression to fight it off. And then conservatives that are aggressive in fighting it off, they're seen as spooky fascists and racists or whatever. And it's like, yeah, I don't think you guys have the heart to protect yourselves at this point. Yeah, it's the proper mindset. They're just not. They're not strong enough. They're not strong enough to fight it. They've already lost. New York City, Michigan, Minnesota. They're gone. I think they're gone. Sad to say. These people don't even know what is a woman. Yeah, nope. Spiritually going, yeah, and it's sad because we do have Western values, and it's kind of ironic that the countries that have strong Western values are all the countries they demand to go to. We need to be there. We need asylum in those countries, the UK, Spain, France, Germany, United States of America. These are all bad places. We gotta get rid of those Western values, but we demand to go there. I don't see the same demand for them to invade other parts of their area, other parts of their continent, the same way they demand to come here. Kind of interesting, right? Yeah, good vibes music written by AI. Scary times. But this video is going viral recently because it's just insane that they have all the woke virtues in their window, and the guy wants to know if they think voter ID is bad. Well, actually, let's go back and read those stickers. So this very this very woke storefront has Black Lives Matter with the LGBT flag. Protect the T kids. It's a toy store. BLM. Okay. Smile you on camera.
I like it in here. This is a cool store.
He's trying to blend in.
You got, have you been, I don't know what's going on back there. That threw me off. Have you been watching the news lately?
No.
They're trying to make people show their IDs to vote. Do you think that's racist?
Yeah, they've been tripping.
I agree. Can I get the hitter, the purple one, and then the bong?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
You want some ID?
I also don't know if this is a skit, because I kind of feel like he's not in the store enough, like in the voice person's obviously he doesn't want to show, oh, he trapped a woke teacher before. Okay, I believe it's real, but also could easily be faked. But it's the same thing. All the people saying you need to repeal voter ID laws that are racist. Don't think it's racist for you to need an ID to drive, need an ID to get a drink, need an ID to get a cigarette, need an ID to go to a concert. They don't think that's racist, but only the one thing is racist. And the most insane part of it is the, Tom Burchett, he's pretty based congressman, saying all the people voting against the SAVE Act, which requires photo ID to vote, voted on that with an ID.
Show a dadgum photo ID to vote. And that ID, 213 Democrats used their IDs to vote yesterday. Nobody hollered about racism there.
Nope.
It's just ridiculous, folks. This thing is just about corruption and it's about control.
And then he later posted, this is actually a different Representative Michael Cloud. He's from, in Texas? He shows you this is what it is to vote in Congress. So you mean to say it's very important that our vote be validated in Congress, but it's not very important when your vote be validated to vote for congressmen, because you have to put in their voter ID and then make their vote. This is important. This, not racist. You getting a beer, not racist. But you voting for the people that would vote for this is racist. And here they are, essentially knowing that they've been backed up. Like, even CNN is calling them out. And I think that's crazy that that's how bad it's gotten.
About 83% of the American people, including majority Democrats, support voter ID laws.
Well, yeah, the vote.
He's like, well, yeah. Here's why it's racist, though.
Voter ID laws that, first, each state can have its own voter ID laws, and some do and some don't.
No, we need to federalize elections. You can't have one state saying, you know what, voter ID wasn't good, so we're going to use Dominion to send your votes over to Venezuela, and we'll count them there first, then we'll send them back. SD cards will be wiped, but this is how we secure elections. It sounds ridiculous, but it's not that far from the truth.
Secondly, what they are proposing in this so-called SAVE Act is like Jim Crow 2.0. They make it so hard.
Again, racist, right? No, it's not. It's not. I don't care how many times you stamp your feet and say it's racist. Most people want it regardless of race. It's not.
Get any kind of voter ID that more than 20 million legitimate people, mainly poorer people and people of color, will not be able to vote.
Did he just Joe Biden it? Poor people and people of color, almost as if they're the same thing. The black kids are just as smart as the rich kids, or whatever he said, or the white kids are just as good as the poor kids. I think that's what he said. He's Joe Bidening in real time, and at least he doesn't have dementia.
Legitimate people, mainly poorer people and people of color, will not be able to vote under this law. We will not let it pass in the Senate. We are fighting it tooth and nail.
I'm using my voter ID to make sure it doesn't pass in the Senate. But you don't need to have ID to vote for me.
It's an outrageous proposal that is, that shows the sort of political bias of the MAGA right. They don't want poor people to vote. They don't want people of color.
I wonder what they're going to do when Trump's not in office and you have someone like Marco Rubio running. Are they still going to try to call him MAGA right, or is it just going to be like they got to reinvent the next boogeyman?
Vote because they often don't vote for them.
About 83.
Yeah, no, he's just trying to call it racist, but he wasn't the only one. You got, what were they calling him? Timu Obama? Him trying to say the same thing, but this is MSNBC, aka MS Now. Even they're calling them out on their bullshit.
Locations. This becomes very relevant to a lot of people because if you believe
that's a bit low.
ICE and CBP, federal agents are just out there randomly clicking locations. This becomes very relevant to a lot of people because if you believe that ICE and CBP, federal agents are just out there randomly arresting people, that could allow you, that could impede your ability to cast a ballot. There are primaries going on for the next several months, and then we've got an election. And
why would they care if you put ICE agents outside every single voting booth in America? Every ballot drop, no ballot drop-off boxes. Same-day voting, voter ID, paper ballots that are watermarked. Why would you care if ICE agents were monitoring every single one of them unless you were planning or relying on illegals to vote?
If you believe that even as an American citizen, you're not particularly safe, that means, for people who are a little worried about going to vote, this feels like it's not about immigration.
Why would you be a little worried about going to vote? Again, I believe we need to make voting day a national holiday so everybody can get paid to take it off and actually focus on voting. But there should be no fear in voting unless you're going to do something illegal by voting.
Immigration enforcement only, it's about scaring people about being out in public.
Republicans are on the run politically all across the country. They're losing.
They're not losing. Okay, go on.
In states, whether that are red states, blue states, or purple states, we've just seen Republicans experience devastating losses in back-to-back weekends in Texas and in Louisiana, overperforming the 2024 Trump numbers in Texas by 31 points, and then in Louisiana by 37 points. So Republicans have clearly come to the conclusion that they cannot win a free and fair election, and they've adopted voter suppression.
Didn't they just win your quote-unquote free and fair election by the largest margins? Like, Trump was the only president in, like, decades to win the popular vote. He's saying they're losing. It's just like when they say gas prices are up. It's like, yeah, they're up during Biden. They're incrementally coming down, but you'll still panic about them being up.
Electoral strategy, which is one of the reasons why we are making sure that there is a clear separation between DHS and immigration enforcement activities that they undertake, which need to be fair and just and humane, and the ability for...
Here's the thing, there's no virtue to it. Fair, safe, and humane. Don't separate families, no kids in cages. Nothing said about it during Obama's administration. Nothing said about it during Biden's administration. Well, it wasn't necessarily the deportations or open borders, but there were people in cages in processing facilities. Nothing about that. But suddenly it's now an issue because Trump does it. Because again, they don't have virtues or ethics, they just have Trump is bad. If we say Trump bad long enough, we can campaign on it. And again, it hasn't worked for the last several years now, and they just keep on going back to it because they have nothing to provide, nothing to offer actual voters other than Trump is bad.
State and local officials to ensure that there are free and fair elections in the November midterm.
Yeah, having ICE enforcement there, having voter ID there, it's something everybody wants. I think they have gone off the deep end right now. You think you lose IQ points whenever he speaks, and I think most of them we feel a little dumber because it's like these are elected officials that we pay insane amounts for their salaries, and also they kind of mysteriously get rich in the stock market as well. But these should be our leaders. These should be our best and our brightest, and all they seem to offer us is race grifting. Yeah. Trump has the kids in libraries playing basketball. Obama had them in cages. Exactly. If you look at any the video footage from Trump's, like, what is it, the alligator Alcatraz, it's them sleeping in bunk beds, on their phones, sitting at tables, getting meals. There are people that have violated our laws. They're criminals. We're sending them away. They're on their phones, they're hanging out, they're doing fine. Nothing compared to the massive amounts that Obama had in literal chain-link cages inside of facilities wearing tinfoil blankets. No complaints about that. They even tried to pin that on Trump, but somehow it's only an issue when they've decided this is now their talking point. This is their only way of them being able to get votes. Who is it? The Representative Maxwell Frost, I think it is. He's like the other black guy saying, you don't want illegals. I don't want illegals. Let's start documenting them. Let's start giving them let's start to grant them not asylum, amnesty. Let's give them a pathway to citizenship. Again, it was always a plan to give them voting rights. It was always a plan to import millions of them, to fly them in overnight flights to all parts of the country so they can start to win elections again. Because, as you saw, 80% of African Americans want voter ID. Asian males, black males, Hispanic males have all significantly shifted more conservative. Obviously, they don't have a majority of black males, Hispanic males, and Asian males voting for conservatives, but it would go from numbers like 80% black males voted for Hillary, then 50% voted for Hillary, or for Biden, and then now 20% voted for Kamala. Like, they keep on losing ground. They know they need to replenish those easy to buy votes, and open borders was their plan. Yeah, it's like we gave them that opportunity, a free chance to leave with no charges, a flight out, and $1,000 if they chose to stay. They now get $2,600 now to voluntarily self-deport, which I believe the self-deportations are in the millions now. So it's been working. Like, we have a net negative migration and people self-deporting all the time. I don't like the idea of giving them $1,000 or $2,600 if they violated our laws, but I also know it saves us money at the end, so you just let it happen. I also saw something on the coming off. I saw something about, like, a guy was on trial, I think for stalking Taylor Swift or stalking somebody, and then at his arraignment, they started reading out the charges, and the guy was just like, guilty as charged, and he's like, no, this is your plea. You plead not guilty and you go away. He's getting ahead of himself. But I was like, you know what? He's guilty. He knows he's guilty. It's probably going to cost us at least $20,000 in legal processes to get him behind bars. If he's willing to forego that and just say, no arraignment, no sentencing, no hearing, let me just get my plea deal out of the way. You don't want to reward a criminal, but if he's going to save the taxpayer money, I say give him 50% of what the legal fees would have been and put it on his commissary, put it on his books. They say 2,600 is enough to apply for citizenship 3 times with a little change left over after. It's insane to me to think about all these anti-ICE activists want to ride in the streets and attack people and unfortunately lose their life. These are all adults with plenty of free time. Why don't they use that free time just try to sponsor someone to get citizenship? Dude, maybe work an extra shift at their job and give that money to immigration attorneys that can help these people apply for stuff. There's plenty of things they can do that isn't bothering their neighbors in the streets and then attacking federal agents. They could be doing something more actual beneficial to the cause, but they're just too dumb to actually do it. Yeah, your great-grandfather fled China to maintain his autonomy. He'd be devastated to see what's going on here in Canada. And that's the thing, is they don't... All these people clamoring for socialism and all these things, they don't know what it actually is. They're just playing games. It's not real to them. Foot soldiers in the color revolution, and they don't even know it, unfortunately. We truly need to clean house. Yeah, Republicans and Democrats too. Like, people think that I'm a staunch conservative, but honestly, I think Republicans are pretty garbage too. We need to get rid of anybody that isn't not America first, or not Republican, not America first. I say America only. If you have dual citizenship, if you're Ilhan Omar and you represent Somalia, if you are a governor that took a whole bunch of trips to China, Tim Walz, or you're a governor, Gavin Newsom, that spends more time going to other countries and wagging his finger about Trump over there and then saying China does it right and cleaning up your city only when the Chinese come to visit. I don't think you should be a politician on behalf of America. You should go to the country you love most. And the country you love most is Somalia or China or whatever it may be. If it's not the US of A, you do not belong in our political system. Yeah, Bernie in Russia. Exactly. So let's go ahead and cover some super chats right now. We're wrapping it up. Deprived Dolphin says, once I switched to keto, your sleep's incredible. Ollie Wally says, first thing I did as a designer was figure out to let AI cut the time-consuming stuff out of work. I'm trying to do that for my job as well, just as like a YouTuber too. I'll never let like AI script for me, but I will let it do simple stuff like edit out a lot of the silences out of my videos. Like AI can do stuff like that. Dist Optimist says, we're going to bring Frosted Tips back. No. The broccoli is this generation's mullet. I think the mullet is this generation's mullet. Johnny Cage says, has anyone thought about where they wash their hands? I don't know what that is. Oh, no, he's talking about food trucks. Yeah. You have these food trucks, no running water, and they handle cash all day. You are going to get food poisoning. Dist Optimist says, kindness is a virtue, but it's been weaponized. 100% it has. Like, our goodwill has been used against us, unfortunately. AI can do a lot of things with video. Like, whenever I talk to another creator and I say, like, you know, how to iterate faster, which is just a Steve Jobs ideology. And when it comes to like making content, being an innovator, he's like, you don't have to be perfect. All you have to do is iterate fast, quickly, and it's never hand over the reins of creativity to AI, but you can help it produce for you in terms of like making video edits and cuts or like subtitles and stuff. Like, I would manually do that with Wondershare Filmora. If I ever need to add subtitles, I would now use what's that TikTok app, CapCut. It's really good at that. Next stream after 4 p.m, please, for us workers. I thought a lot of you guys like to listen to the streams live, but at least we have the VODs on YouTube as long as they survive during the episode. But made the clips as well. So AI is a new modern day Ouija board. No, I think AI is just the modern day steam engine. Like it's just modern day internet. I grew up in an era where the internet didn't exist. Internet changed everything. I think my nieces and nephews grew up in the age of the internet, wireless internet, and touch screens. AI is going to change everything. You have you hate auto transcription. So many errors and no one ever proofreads it before they post. Exactly. You don't need to be a writer. You don't need to make the transcription, but you need to be the editor. You need to be the proofreader. Just like programmers using AI to program for them or code for them, you still need to have someone top level looking down on it. Exoria says, AI got 4 of your family members fired this year. Exactly. I know people that they have an admin job, and what's Microsoft's version of AI? Is it called Copilot, I think? They're using Copilot in so many facets of their job now, and their superiors keep on pushing in more of it, and I'm like, you have to make them know Copilot is not there yet. It's not working, because the sooner you tell them, Copilot does this part of my job, that part of my job, it might not be your direct boss, but there is someone in corporate accounting somewhere waiting for the day that they can get a 10% bonus instead of a 5% bonus by firing 50% of the workforce. I quit AI, I work for a temp company to get into welding ASAP. Yeah, HVAC, plumbing, anything with your hands. Kind of sucks because then you can't get wealthy, but those mid-tier jobs are going to replace cushy office jobs, aka daycare for liberal college graduates. Steam OS on the horizon? I don't know. You have no idea what SO stands for? SO is usually significant others. I don't know. Cognitive atrophy, that explains why spelling has gotten so bad because of spell check and why we can't remember phone numbers anymore. I think it's wild that I know how to navigate places. Like, all I have to do is just take a snapshot of a map. I'll look at something. Like, I'll open up Google Maps and I'm saying, I'm going to a SoFi Center, right? So I look at the map, I know I'm going up this freeway, I know I exit there, turn left there, and I'll see it when I get there. And I'm like, okay, cool. I don't need the GPS because I know visually where I need to be. I just have to memorize, this is the exit, and that's the turn. I know for a fact Gen Z are completely reliant on GPS telling them left here, now. Right here, not like they can't visualize a map. And it's like, yeah, the atrophy of them not being able to do mental math, navigate, it is very, very scary. I say Skynet's coming. Skynet's here, guys, unfortunately. You're 46 and have to remember to check your ID to remember you're 46. That's not a generation thing. That's just an old age thing. And also, like, I remember turning 8 is like, oh my god, 2 more years and you're 10. Turning 10, oh my god, I'm 10. Turning 12, oh, I'm gonna be a teenager next year. Like, every birthday is a thing. I gotta tell you right now, I don't remember being 24, 25, and 26. 27. I think I remember being 28 and having, like, what do you call it, tentpole events, like significant things. But honestly, when you get older, like 21's a big deal, 25 kind of, but it's like all that in the middle, it's a blur. Turning 30 actually wasn't even a big deal to me. I was like, oh, I'm okay with being 30. Didn't look 30, so it was okay. But yeah, as we get older, it's old thing. Exactly. Losing count after 30. You're 29, Danny can't even remember your 20s exactly. Unless you have major life events, I feel like you can't. Yeah, you turn 26 and you're like, sure, whatever. I think turning 40 might be huge, but then again, this is me just thinking about the future. Maybe 50 will be huge? I don't know. We'll see. See, you're saying 21 was more of a blur for you than 25 was. That's because that's your drinking age. That's when you can start to party. I think that's a big deal. Those of us who are Gen Z are going to have so much to work through. I mean, it's just going to be about innovation. Your parents are probably telling you to go to college, probably get a diploma or whatever, but it's like a lot of these mid-tier, like what I would say is the breakdown in California at least was going to UCLA, the UC system taught you how to think and how to lead. Going to the Cal State system, like Cal State LA, or what's that other garbage Cal State they had over there? Cal State Northridge or Cal State Channel Islands or whatever. The Cal State system taught you how to do it operationally, functionally, like mid-tier management. UC's taught you how to look after those people or innovate. The entire Cal State system, those jobs that they plug you into are going to be replaced by AI. So you either have to be at the pinnacle of the position or you gotta be at the very bottom low rung of it. So it's like, it's all about Gen Z has people to think about, things to think through and work through. the Cal State system will become antiquated. Whatever your parents are telling you to do as far as like going to college and everything will be older. It'll be stuff like decoy voice. You just have to kind of pioneer your own way and make it. Obviously, not everybody can be a YouTuber, but figuring out the new way, the new path to success. There's no like, you go to high school, you go to college, and you get your office job. That's gone now. AI will destroy it. But the same way that people used to operate horse stables for transportation, and then the steam engine came, or people used to be lamplighters, and then the light bulb came. It's gonna be something new. We just don't know what it is. The fuck I do for work, you're looking at it, man. I'm not panhandling online, but I am full-time YouTuber as of probably like, I'm in my 3rd year now. Kids will be parented by ChatGPT. The sad part is I was asking ChatGPT about a hat. I was like, hey, there's this new St. Patrick's Day hat, and it comes out in 970 and 1920 or whatever. It's like the new era cat shape, hat cap shape. Which one is which? And I just asked ChatGPT, and it gave me this long description. But then when I was looking at the pictures that ChatGPT gave me, I'm like, that one looks like the dad cap. Are you sure you're not confusing 1970 with 970? And then ChatGPT was like, you know what? You're right. I got them mistaken. Here's the real analogy. And it's like, wow, if ChatGPT gets messed up in a lie, it just sees it to the end. It's like, how many times would a parent ask ChatGPT, hey, my kid, can they have, or not me, here's how an angry cat lady I am. I asked my ChatGPT about, what can I feed my cat? Can I feed it a sweet potato or something? I think the Google search gave me verifiably bad information because the little AI thing was telling me something, and then I read from a vet's website saying you can't, and I was like, wow, that would have harmed my cat's stomach. I can only imagine what parent bad information the AI is giving to parents about their kids. I'm not elder Gen Z. My tattoo artist, we were both millennials, but we're like very far apart in age. And I was like, I thought you were Gen Z. He's like, nah, I'm right at the cutoff of millennial. And I'm like, nah, that's elder Gen Z. You're not millennial like me. Exactly. You're a self-employed motorcycle mechanic. You retire for weeks at a time for booze and bike trips. Exactly. I think who was the guy that was on Joe Rogan's podcast? Naval Ravikant. He's a guy. He's like a tech entrepreneur. If you ever want to like reconceptualize money, watch that full podcast with Naval Ravikant. He talks about happiness. He talks about money. And one thing that really changed my outlook on what I wanted to do with my life, this is before I did YouTube, was him saying, you'll never get rich trading your time for your money. He thinks the future isn't employment with benefits and a boss. It'll be like Uber, where you're not a taxi driver working for a cab company. You're an independent contractor. You have your car. You spend your money. And you just look at jobs on your phone and you choose which ones you do and which ones you don't. You being a bike mechanic used to be you work for Jiffy Lube or you work for some chain and you have a job, you clock in for 40 hours, and sometimes you work, sometimes you relax, it's just whatever, you get your paycheck. You working based on gigs and taking vacations whenever you want. This is like capitalism, full autonomy. I think that's the future. You've been subbed to all my channels for a year now. You're longer than the main for sure, but I told you weren't subbed, and when you had to comment, you had to resub. Very scary stuff that's what happened, especially when the drop off from last live stream. So, again, just a wire and you know, just, I would say be honest, I wouldn't be offended, but with the monetization and the AI thing that happened the other day, and my, if you follow me on Twitter, you would have saw my interaction, but I think AI messes up a lot. I don't want to panhandle on the internet, but I'm thinking about either creating like a Patreon, a Substack, a possibly like my own subscription service. I don't want to say, subscribe to me, pay me money here, pay me money there, pay me money there. Just to say, hedge against AI moderation messing up and demonetizing everything. But why in chat if you think that's a good idea, and in chat if you don't think it's a good idea. But making something where it's like, hey, extra content, bonus content, other live streams, whatever it may be. But just me having my own website or Substack saying, hey, support my channel over there. Possibly Pepperbox, possibly Substack, possibly Locals, possibly I think I found something called Ghost, where it's like I have decoyvoice.com and you can support me with a subscription, because Timcast does it, and I feel like he makes the bulk of his money there, so he doesn't actually have to do ad reads. I don't really do ad reads right now as it is, but it kind of hedges you from. I had one company, I won't name them, and a company I liked. Like, I would actually, if I wasn't mad at them now, I'd probably still buy their services, and I like their services, and I did one of my better ad reads for that service. When it came to re-up their ad buy with me, this is when I didn't know what my value was, and I was being stupid with how much I let them get away with. But they later on said, you know what, we like Decoy voice. He makes us a lot of money. He has lots of conversions, and the ad was good. But since he got a little more political than we like, we just need to not do an ad with him until he comes back to more like internet drama content. And I was like, nah, if you guys, you either ride with me or you don't. I'm not about this, you know. So yeah. Yeah, a lot of people wouldn't blame me, but also I think it's kind of a, you know, sellout type of stuff. Diablo 2, maybe I do that content because I like Diablo 2, and the Warlock, the new character, seems like he's interesting. I honestly don't even, what is Pepperbox really? I thought it was just like a streaming service. Is it just like another Locals? This looks like it's the Donut Operators Crow, the Unsub podcast. I don't get what this is. Do I buy stuff, or I have to log in? I guess it's maybe like a subscription service. I can't tell. Yeah, Necromancer all the way. I do use Necromancer was my main character. Then I like to use Sorceress. I thought about going through as an Amazon or buy that who's that guy? The new character, not the Warlock. He was he like summoned dogs and stuff. I wanted to use him. And yeah, that's the thing, is like it is against the TOS or Druid, yeah, him. To say, here's my not safe for this platform content, like that's against the TOS to bounce people to that. So I'm not gonna do it because I want to follow the rules, but I'm just worried about AI inaccuracy flagging me for having adult content when it's not adult content, but they can't fix it because they're stupid. Witch Doctor? Is that a character? I forget. MXR didn't get booted for doing that. I think I don't know the most about it because I haven't really talked to him like that. I think MXR got banned because his content, like all the thumbnails, were like borderline adult. Like, because he obviously had his Patreon where he does his other content, and that's like, you know, something else. But you can only live on the edge for so long. It's like, yeah, he might be within the terms, but anybody could see that and think, okay, this is just like when Jack Doherty, he's not saying, hey, here's my girl. Isn't she pretty? She does spicy content. Here's us doing our vlog and just kind of subtly advertising you the spicy content to everybody. I think the MXR channel was just too much on that borderline of like, hey, how do we make it look adult as possible? It was bound to happen. It's unfortunate it happened, but I mean, you can only play with fire for so long. It's like you say, the stuff they can't show on YouTube. That violates the rules. You can't do that. So, I'm not going to, but we'll figure it out, you know? Favorite baseball player's got to be Ohtani right now. Ohtani, he's like the greatest. He's going to go down as the greatest baseball player of all time. There was no doubt of that at all. Yeah, if I ever made an OF, I think I'd have it like in my IG link, and it would legit be an account that you'd pay. Like, I'd like, oh, the price to enter is $100, and if you want to buy it, you can buy it, and it's just gonna be me. If someone actually goes through the ClickFunnels doing that, it's just gonna be me reading the Bible. We're gonna do some Bible study, guys. You need Jesus. If you went to the Decoy only account and paid $100, this is just gonna be an intervention, and I'm fully clothed. I'm gonna read it to you. Sounds like 1970s New York City elevator music. Nah, it's just... I think the prompt on Suno was like... I typed in detective, noir, jazz, and I even typed in Bosch, because Bosch is like a detective LA show that has a lot of jazz in it, and it gives you some good stuff. the video starts a decoy and your family behind him just reading the Bible. Yeah. Crypto Marxists, I don't know. But yeah. But yeah, we've been hanging out for long enough as it is. We're kind of like fizzling out. So we're going to do another live stream. We might even do another live stream tomorrow. We're still figuring out the cadence of it. I mean, I do like doing these. Maybe we'll just do a casual one without the topics lined up and just kind of figure it out as we go along. We'll still figure it out, but thanks for hanging out as long as you had, but I'll see you probably tomorrow if you guys are on the same time. But for now, duck off.